What's going on, baby girl?
Hey,
How you feel?
I feel so good.
Hey, went and picked up Six from the airport yesterday, and she was a whole vibe. She was, when Six walk in, she's like a superstar. As soon as she walking out the airport, the whole 9 yards, she like a superstar. How you feel? And let me also add that she was partying super hard last night,
Oh my God.
down in Detroit. Did you have a good time?
I was, when I tell y'all having a ball, I'm talking about, my apologies to whoever granddaddy I was dancing with all night. Somebody's 62-year-old granddaddy gonna need some Geritol and Tiger Balm today because we danced the night away the whole night. So
Yeah.
somebody granddaddy was late back to the nursing home.
And then you were
Today.
trying to convince me to take a vacation because you was on Rita's side,
Absolutely.
which I'm never taking a vacation, so that's not even a thing for me. But I'm
Are
glad
you
that you're
human?
here. I am human. But I mean, I like working. That's
don't
the thing.
know.
That's all I like doing is working. I don't really care about nothing else except for
You're
work.
kind of like a robot.
I run 2 phones, and then that's what I do. And even me turning my phones off for this interview is a problem for me right now.
Wow. That's definitely a man thing, not me. I will gladly not do shit happily.
Is that do you really think that that's a man thing now?
I think so.
Why?
I think it's part of your instinct of your territory. I think men have more pride in their name, what they produce. I think men are very much so measured by that, whereas women were not. So we can sleep and look good and get the same level of regard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not measured off of what we work and do. So I don't really have much interest. I will gladly do nothing.
But that's it's so funny that you're saying that though, because it's almost like I know that like that's supposed to be the norm, and maybe I'm just like a throwback type of dude, but it's almost like guys today are more feminine,
Oh, yes.
right?
Jesus.
They really not. Cause see, like I love working, right? I love being busy. I love participating. Even when it came to physical work, before everything was more like managerial and content creation and stuff like that. I worked in a steel mill and I was working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's just what I did, right? But I don't think that a lot of guys today take pride in what they do. They kind of look at it more from a feminine perspective, in that they just want to chill. And I even seen guys say that they would prefer to. They wouldn't mind being house husbands.
Yep, I've seen that.
You don't want a house husband?
I would throw up. I would every day I came home and looked him on the couch. I would throw up every time I walked in the door.
Really?
For some reason, like I don't mind a man, taking time out to relax. But like I can't see no man just sit all day. I'll throw up.
The funny part about that is, like we have conversations, obviously you and I, because we both content creators. Do you think that women are naturally more attracted to more masculine guys, or is it more about how much money they make? Because I think that a lot of people are conflating the two, right? Some people are saying masculine men, and then some people are saying how much money you make or how big the bag is the thing that attracts women. What is a more attractive trait from a woman's perspective as far as that type of man? Is it more masculinity, or is it more with regard to how much money he makes?
I mean, how many men that are really in tune with their masculinity don't have no money?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it is the masculinity, but it's because the masculinity, automatically means like money is a part of it. Like most masculine men are going to have money.
Yeah.
Not saying they're all multi-millionaire rich, but a masculine man, like, he's going to have money. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not going to just sit with nothing and have his family doing without.
Yeah.
So I think it is more so the masculinity, but because of what is all under that umbrella.
Yeah.
But I have also noticed, present day, a lot of men are looking to women for financial help. A lot of men are like, they want to get with a woman that has some money or something like that because they're trying to cheat the system, and they're okay with coming up off of the women now.
It's funny watching you and interacting with people in person because you can feel their energy, right? And seeing how you kind of interact, and no matter where you go, I mean, you came into a place. I don't think you've ever been here in Detroit, right?
Never.
So it's funny because, you know, you down and we out and about, and you down at MGM Grand, and then we hit the spot or whatever, and you just make friends. Like you attract the crowd, you attract people around you. Whether you was at the restaurant, at the bar, or you was at the little local, you know, the nightclub area, whatever, so on and so forth, people just attract to you. Have you always been that way?
I think I always have been that way, but before I was my shyness, because I'm shy, and people don't know I'm shy. And I'm very deathly shy, but I don't let anything beat me.
Yeah.
So I'm aware of the shyness. I just fight through it. So before I knew how to fight through my shyness, people would be drawn to me, but I would kind of push back because I was shy. Now, with me getting more comfortable, and I have found, I told you that once we started, Elijah was going to call me back. Then I tell you, I said, the second you press record, I know I'm a child. He knows, like, my mom's busy. Let me bother her. So, but when I really... I've been making a home since I was 8 years old. So I've always actually been very into my femininity. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know the name of it. But now that I know, when I became to the point where I understood the name of it, I knew what it was, why it was. Now my social presence and, you know, attracting people to me and making people feel comfortable, I think now it's like, I got it. I welcome it now. That's what femininity is. Can you make people comfortable? Can you pour into people? Can you love? Do people love you? Do you love them? That's what it's about.
Do
people
you think
forget
that I fight with the idea because, you know, from my perspective, I'm a man's man, right? And so I hear people a lot of times talk about that you have both, right? That a guy has both, a woman has both. And I don't know anything about that, right? Because all I know is about from a guy's perspective. Do you think that people have both masculine and feminine traits? Why is that? Why do you think that? Is it a more of a balance towards masculinity in men, and then more of a, or you know, that pendulum where it's more of a femininity thing with women, that they're more feminine? And the reason I'm asking this is because I'm wondering, when you see different women, right? Because I know you have a lot of opinions, and I want to get into them about how women are operating today. Women that operate in their masculinity, why do you think that they embrace that? Is that more of a situation as a result of how they was raised, or the fact that they was pushed into that environment? Or is that just something that they have in them, that some people have in them, that's just a little bit more masculine as a result of the way they was born?
I think for most women, like, it can definitely be a generational thing. I could say that. I think it can definitely be life circumstance that can contribute to it. But at the end of the day, your womanhood is your responsibility. Like, as a woman, you can't... I don't like when women treat their womanhood and their femininity like a carrot stick, like in front of someone, like dangling a carrot. Like, if you do this, then I'll do this. Well, then that means that's just not what you are.
Right. Because
you should just, you know, just be that. That should be you. Anything outside of that should be what's different. Not you being different and saying, oh, well, if you do this, then I'll give you my femininity. So I think it's just the woman has not made a decision. I think that women who... Because women will try to say, they'll try to say, oh, we have both, to try to justify bad behavior. And it's like, that's not what it means when it say we have both. If I got to go get money, money is a masculine energy. So whenever I'm going to get money, that's me and my masculine. However, that's an action. It's not me as a person. A lot of women don't know how to compartmentalize. They don't know how to say, just because I may have to do this action and it may be a masculine energy, doesn't mean I have to be that. No matter what I'm doing, even if it is something where I'm fixing something or getting money, my femininity will still seep through it. No matter what I'm doing, you'll still see the woman in me. So the woman got to make a decision. I don't like when they make an excuse and make it seem like, oh, because of this circumstance, I have to be like this. You really don't. You want to be like that, and just say that.
How do women deal with confrontation within their relationship then? You know, as far as when guys say a lot of times that women are operating in a masculinity when they argue or they're combative or things like that, how do women compartmentalize in that specific instance in which they dealing with a man? And let me paint a scenario or an example for you, right? They dealing with a guy, and for a fact, you know that he's wrong. Right?
Okay.
You know what you know for a fact maybe he does not know, right? How do you deal with a man in that situation in which you're trying to compartmentalize, right? And you don't want to operate in your masculine, but you know what you know, right? How do you deal with relationship issues, and how should women deal with relationship issues when dealing with men in that capacity?
Let them learn the hard way. Let them learn the hard way. I think a lot of men are that way. I've learned sometimes, do you know a lot of arguments women that we have with our man is trying to save him from himself?
Yeah.
That's a lot of the time as a woman what you arguing with your man about. What I've learned after years of arguing with no success is that it don't work, and instead let him learn the hard way. Like if you're like if, I'm trying to think of an example. Like if you're like, oh my God, babe, why? I'm trying to think of an example that's like an appropriate example, but
let's assume here. I'll frame it for you, right?
You just need to be quiet, let him learn the hard way, and then what's gonna happen is he gonna do this thing where he kind of inadvertently admits you was right, and he'll kind of come back later and be like,
You see Rita over there laughing. She think it's cute.
Cause me and Rita were talking about this earlier.
Oh, Jesus.
And we both decided we is not arguing with niggas.
They up there shopping. They up there doing
was
wine
talking.
tastings. They doing all kind of stuff.
Me and Rita agreed to let him have it. See, this is the thing. When you're in your femininity, letting your man win don't bother you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of women have the combativeness in the relationship, like OD, because they want to win. And for some reason, seeing him win and not them kills them. When you get to that point where you stop competing with your man, you don't mind knowing he wrong, but okay, whatever, and going about your business. I'm not finna sit here and try to win with you. You think you right? Okay, go ahead.
You let me bring it back for a little bit because again, seeing you operate and interact with people, and you are very much you attract a certain type of people in which it ain't no foolishness that you attract. It's almost like you repel a certain type of energy, right? But then at the same time, you attract positive people or people that just want to have fun and have a vibe and things like that. Like coming up early, were you always kind of a shy person, and how did you kind of grow out of that, right?
So always was shy. What helped me, the beginning of what, I was raised Jehovah's Witness.
I didn't.
I was raised.
You not, so you got to give me that.
I was raised a devout Jehovah's Witness for my born into it, door-to-door field service.
Really?
My entire life.
I did not know that.
Kingdom Hall 3 times a week, theocratic ministry school, the assembly. What? Devout Jehovah's Witness.
You got to give me the game. All right, so wait. Because I've heard about it, right? Familiar with it. What is that life like? Like, do y'all have to go out every weekend?
Every weekend.
Really? Seriously?
And they log your hours. So you have work that's called pioneer work, which means you have to do like 100 hours of field service. Like you have to commit to a certain amount of hours, and you have to log your hours. Okay, I went in field service for this many hours at this location. You have to turn it into them and like report it. And I remember as a kid in South Florida, knocking on doors and just going like this and praying that it wasn't someone I went to school with. Because that was a big part of how I got bullied, is it got out that I was knocking on people's doors, like doing field service. And they're like, is that?
Yeah.
And it was so embarrassing. I'm traumatized on the low.
You got bullied in school?
What?
6, you gotta fill me in.
I tried to kill myself in 6th grade. I wanted to die.
Why?
That's how bad I got bullied.
By girls, guys?
Girls. And that's why now people wonder why I be having my foot on a bitch neck now. That's why. Because I see what happens when you allow too much space. Women are testers. Like as much space as they have, they're gonna take it. When I was 6th grade, I tried to kill myself because at the time, my mama was real sick.
Okay.
So we were poor. When I say poor, I'm talking about poor. All my clothes was hand-me-downs from other girls in my congregation, big old Medicaid glasses. This was before I had braces. So I still have my gap in my teeth because I wanted to bring my gap back. But I had how we got like cute gaps. You know what I'm saying? No, I had like a tooth, like a space for a tooth in the middle kind of gap, ugly gap. Buck teeth, gap teeth, skinny. I'm talking about skinny bones, poor. Oh, and then, so as though me knocking on people's doors, talking about Jehovah, then we live in a trailer. Guess what a trailer was? Across the street from the school. Literally.
Oh, no. You had all of the combinations.
Oh, my. It was a
you know how they say pick a struggle?
Oh, it was all the struggle.
It was every struggle.
It was at, I think this was Ramblewood Middle School in South Florida. And the worst part is the bus ramp was here. Then it was a canal. Then my trailer. So the kids, at the end of the day, when they was getting on their bus, they watching me walk to the trailer. So then it was like, trailer trash. They didn't make fun of my mom because my mom was bald from chemo. Yeah. It was a mess. So
you went through it.
I went through
Jesus Christ.
But the point of getting into that was that field service is what helped me break out the shyness and being in a theocratic ministry school. Because women, two things. In Jehovah's Witness congregation, women standing up when there's men present and speaking and on the stage is never. There is no female pastor, none of that. If women want to speak in front of the congregation, if you're standing up, you have to be speaking directly to someone else, preferably another woman. So we can do like a skit. It's like a skit type of thing. And we would do like Bible skits of how to handle worldly pressures. But a woman can't get to the podium and speak and there's men around. Women, if the woman want to pray, the woman has to cover her head. Like if there's men present, it's very strict. And I think that's why now I don't have that issue with the concept of gender roles and women or men being leaders, because I grew up seeing that. They didn't play that. There was no women leading nothing. It's
funny because it's almost like, she's 6. I did not know this.
I don't look like what people see me and they think I was born with this silver spoon. And I'm like, yeah, I do not look like what I've been through. But that's also why I'm an OG and why I know so much. Right. I'm like, babe, I've been through some things. This ain't what you think.
But you know, it's funny because you cannot judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
You can't evaluate somebody based off of how many Instagram followers or what their YouTube subscribers are, or you know, how much love and support they get from people that rock with them. Because who you are is largely based off of where you come from, right? And so nobody knows anybody's story, but it's just funny being a content creator. And I want to dive into that too, but I don't want to dive into it yet about what it's like being a content creator, because I have it from my perspective as a guy, right? But I'm sure you got it from a completely different perspective as a woman. But you growing up in that environment gave you that backbone. You be going at these chicks next.
And that's why I'm a one-woman army. I be cracking
and you don't
up.
even care about
I
what people
care.
may think.
Well, I don't care about it. That's why they'll gang up to attack me, and I'll be by myself 10 toes, like, what's up? And I still win. And I still back them down. I'm a professional.
Bullied, tried to kill yourself in 6th grade, lived in a trailer park, mom was going through chemo, skinny, gap teeth, and a Jehovah's Witness all at the same time.
And I had to take care of my baby brother. You know, I got a little brother.
And you had a sibling?
And I said, I've been a homemaker. Like, by the time I was 8 years old, I was making breakfast, packing lunch, making dinner, doing laundry. At 8 years, I was making home since 8 years old. I'm a homemaker by nature.
But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, I know that made you who you are. In hindsight, it's almost like, since I know who you are right now, it's almost like, okay, it's cool, it's good. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like sad, because it's like, yo, no kid should have to be subjected to that level of trying to grow up real fast at that particular time. Instead, they should be trying to be a kid. Yeah. Like, I literally just had a conversation with my daughter the other day, and she was like, yo, Dad, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. And she in 9th grade, and I told her, hey, you don't have to worry about that right now, because the only thing you got to worry about is being a kid. That ain't your place right now. Just have fun. I got this. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just weird, because it's almost like appreciative of what you went through because of who it is that you are now. But then at the same time, Jesus Christ.
Like, damn, man.
So, okay, so you were born in Florida then?
I was born in Pennsylvania.
Okay, you were born in Pennsylvania.
Born in Pennsylvania. We moved from Pennsylvania when I was 7. and we moved to South Florida.
Okay.
So I was in Broward County, this area called Coconut Creek.
Okay.
So it's
Why did y'all move from Pennsylvania to Florida?
well, so by my mom having me and my brother and her not being married, my family didn't deal with me and my brother like that. Like my uncle hates me and my brother. Like when he look at me and my brother,
Like even now?
what?
Why now?
He just hates us.
I mean, it wasn't
because we're bastards.
because of you. But it had nothing to do with you.
But that's not how they operate. Like my family don't like us because we bastard kids. So they don't fuck with us. So my mom left because she was like, screw y'all. Like y'all gonna do more harm to my kids than help them. So she just wanted to get us away from my family because they hated us.
So all your family, the majority of your family is Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Then y'all jetted off to Florida.
Yep. We wanted to be in the sunshine.
And then eventually you moved to Atlanta. How did you end up in Atlanta?
So my fiance at the time was doing sports nutrition work.
Got you.
And I'm like, baby, if that's what you're doing, we need to go where we have the most sports teams in one city.
Yeah.
So we hit it to Atlanta.
Okay. So then Atlanta. So Atlanta today. That's the thing that I wanted to get to, right?
Yeah.
Some people call it like a hub of like this is where black people should be because it's like, we're all of. I mean, you see a lot of wealth from people that got it. Like it's nothing, to see somebody driving the same car as me or having their own Rolls or whatever. That's just a norm, right? What do you think about the state of Atlanta today? Because you got Stacey Abrams running for governor,
God help
right?
us all.
You got Stacey Abrams running for governor. You got the district attorney, right?
God.
You got everything that's happening with they going after all of the rappers and the entertainers and stuff like that. Kind of give me your take on what's happening or what your thoughts are being somebody that lives in Atlanta or has lived in Atlanta for an extended period of time. What are your thoughts about all of this?
The city of Atlanta itself, I love. I love Atlanta.
Really?
Oh my, I would not want to be anywhere else. I was telling Rita, only other place I probably would move is maybe Dallas, but it's because Dallas kind of remind me of Atlanta. But Atlanta is, in my opinion, still the most amazing city in the world, period. However, it's the people. It's the people. Atlanta, to me, remind me of a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, I feel like Atlanta is going down. I don't even, you see how like y'all live way out here in the suburbs? That's how I do in Atlanta. I'm good 45 minutes outside the city. I don't stay in the city.
Anybody that's been in Atlanta for an extended period of time, it seems like they all are far out away from where.
Yeah, I live
like.
far out the city. When I want to get in the mix, I go get in the mix, and I have to get it back. I can't live in that all the time. And I have a son. I'm not finna have my son at QT and see a man in a dress. I like to be where there's families everywhere, so all the men around is all heterosexual families.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about being at the store and him seeing a man with makeup on. I don't want to have that conversation yet. I don't want him seeing that in his real life. I just don't. So I don't recommend people with children live in the city of Atlanta. I recommend like the suburbs area. But Atlanta is just a cesspool of options, perceived options, and not just relationship-wise, but financially wise. Sometimes I think that people shouldn't have that much opportunity. It's just too much. Because everyone around you look like you don't have the same issue you have other places where it's like, oh, these white folks may not want me in this space. We are the space everywhere. So everything in Atlanta is an option. It's just this everlasting plethora of options, from money to people to clubs to events. It's constant stimulation. And I think that people don't have the maturity to handle that in a healthy way.
Do you think that that'll change with, let's just say hypothetically, Stacey Abrams became governor? You don't. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. Do you think that women should carry leadership positions?
No.
Why not?
The answer is not why not. The answer is why would they?
Yeah.
Don't say why not. What is one benefit of women being in leadership positions? There's no benefit. Women can't even get things done because, especially when it comes to other women, they're spending too much time on hating on other women and she's prettier and women would be arguing about that before they would even get anything done. You know what I'm saying? They're not built for it. To me, we talk about getting in your masculine energy. Now that's getting in your masculine energy. Because you're about to think about the man. You're about to go against all these powerful men as a woman. That's an attack on you, just period.
But women are advocating for equal.
No, not all women.
Well,
not
a lot
all
of women are advocating for equal, right?
Women who are not smart are advocating for equal.
Why you say that?
Smart women are not doing that because women, and this is why we can't be trusted, honestly. Because
women can't be trusted.
Women cannot be trusted. We need rules. We need guidelines. We need a procedure. Don't just give us space talking about go be the leader. That's probably the worst thing you could do for a woman. It's just too much. It's just too much. We can't handle that. So my thing is, women just hear, I want to be the leader, and all they think about is the glamorous part of it.
Yeah.
Not understanding when things go bad, the leader go down with the ship, the captain go down with the ship. So women, the reason why women can't be trusted as leaders because they only want the fun parts of leadership. Yeah. They want the attention. It's really a desire for adoration. They want the adoration of being a leader, but they don't want the consequence of it's your fault when this go left. That's the part they don't want. You know, I find that masculine men, you almost have to force them to not blame themselves. Masculine men blame themselves for everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? When something go left, he gonna be like, that was me. And you be like, it really wasn't you. He gonna take the blame. Women don't go that way. They want to lead, and then when it go left, say, but it wasn't me. No, it was you because you're leader.
That is
See
very
why you
true.
shouldn't want that? That's why I don't want that.
Absolutely true. Mm-hmm. It's funny because even in the conversations that we have off camera, you like, yo, I'm not trying to do what men do at all. Like, that's your sense of, like, you don't even have to say it. That's just kind of all on you. You just like, yo, I'm not really trying to get into that. When we straight got down there and we got to the hotel, whatever, it checked you in and everything like that, you just chilling in the car. Like, hey, let me know when I get out or whatever. It's on.
Somebody wrote me on Instagram, was like, 6. You know what I noticed? They were like, 6, you be living your best life.
Yeah.
They was like, every time I see you dancing and you having fun, I'm like, you know what? I do be living my best life.
You do.
I be
entire
having a ball.
time. And you like, I'm checking on you, like, or I had Rita check on you. I said, Rita, is she good? She's like, 6 done already made friends. 6 is doing her thing.
They calling me right now. They like, you want to come out? I'm like, I have friends here now. People like me. They fuck with a real nigga for real.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot help but fuck with a real nigga, honestly.
But you know what the funny part about it is that I see you a lot of times online, right? And of course, I be catching your shows and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And it seems like the smoke that you get the most are also from women. Mm-hmm. Do you get any smoke from men at all? Or is it all overwhelmingly really. From women?
There's a few sassy dudes. You know, there's always a few sassy ones that have a little tiff. But no, the men leave me alone. Men respect me. Even men who I see come at other women, they don't speak on me. Because I think inside themselves, they feel the real nigga-ism. And they like, we going to leave her alone.
Yeah.
So most men don't bother me. So when a man do bother me, I know he's super sassy. Or he like me. Sometimes they like you. Yeah. And they mess with you. They like you. I'm like, you like me, just say that.
Yeah.
You know, they like, don't be mean to me. You come to death row.
But when women come at you or women are saying that they don't like you or whatever, for whatever reason, why are they saying that they don't like you? Because I have never seen you say anything that I thought was wildly crazy. And even if you say something that I may think differently about, that don't mean nothing to me because I know who you are, right? The character of who you are, your heart and all of that other type of stuff. Like, you a genuinely good person. You a cool person. And I don't agree 100% with anything that anybody says. I don't agree with 100% of what my mom says or the chick that I lay next to every night. Why do women largely, or why do you think that women come for you when they do come for you?
Well, and that's interesting you said that because I had a conversation about this because I did a podcast a few months back. Did you see that clip that went viral when I said,
of course I did,
when a man's not financially confident? And it's crazy because I'm like, wait a minute now. Since then, I've seen other people pretty much say the same thing. We've seen other real life examples. And I was talking to a friend about it. I said, why were women so ticked off by that 10 seconds of words? And she said, it's because you said it. Because what I noticed they were saying, because women project a lot. A lot of times what women say about someone else, that's how they feel about themselves. Yeah. So they was like, she's putting herself above other women. She thinks she's perfect. And I said, because I look good. Yeah. And I'm confident. Yep. Like you could tell I'm not seeking their validation. So I think they look at me and I think I represent what they don't want to do, which is like wear your real hair, work out, being a chocolatey woman and not complaining that the men like a woman more light skin.
Yeah.
I think they don't like it because it represents discipline that they don't want to do. Like, I'm gonna have to wear my real hair. I'm gonna have to go to the gym.
Are the majority of the women that come for you frumpy?
Always. They ugly. And they lucky I'm not in my petty days. I'll leave them alone. They all ugly. I look at them. I don't even argue no more. I click on their page, look at her. I'm like, girl, please, bye. I already know your real problem.
Oh, my God.
They're like, don't make us step our game up.
You always say that those type of women like to have brunches together.
Oh, my God. I saw a brunch video. You know what's so funny is when I say things and people be like, "Six, you wildin'," but then after I've said it, they start seeing it.
Yeah.
Do you know how many brunch videos I get sent daily of people like, "Six, look at this brunch. You was right. Everybody fat. Fat women at brunch." With a big fat ass with they chicken and waffles. Complaining about everybody else.
God.
I just
Why
want
are
I want to slap the brunch out of their hands.
why
The brunch avenger.
do you think that they come after you not necessarily because they think that you're wrong, but because it's really just an insecurity that they have within themselves that they haven't solved for?
Mm-hmm. And then let me tell you how else this ends up happening. That the men do, and I don't know why do they do this. The men will send my video to their girl and be like, "You need to listen to her." I'm like, don't do that. Because you're automatically.
No, I mean they do. They're gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, but that's a lot of reason why.
Women send my videos to their guy as though they guy gonna be like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
why do people do that?
I'm gonna do it." Like then he just get mad. Then he just be
I'm
like,
just
"Yo,
like,
I
don't
don't
do
I
that.
don't like this dude even more."
It comes off as you're comparing your partner to that person. Or
But you
want
are, though.
But
You do
don't-
know that
but-
that's what happens,
Yeah, but
though.
don't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't send your girl my video. Like, listen to her. Don't do that.
So it ain't no other way for them to get it to him though. Cause listen, I'm gonna tell you what it is, right? Is when I do videos, right? And, I talk. Like I don't care. I don't give a. I'm trying not to cuss, but I don't give a fuck. Really.
Oh, we're not supposed to cuss?
No,
Why you ain't
can
tell
no,
me?
you can say whatever you want to say.
Okay. 'Cause
Rita
tell
say
me.
the reason I say I don't cuss as much because when I be doing my shows in the morning, somebody sent me an email and they said, "Anton, I was trying to listen at my church, and every other word was a fuck." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more refined." But at the same time, I really don't I don't care. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Can't nobody stop me. I'm already got I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm not the type of dude that's worried about a job or something like that. I'm already what I'm gonna be. But then somebody will hit me up or they'll tap in with me and they'll be like, "Yeah, I sent this to my man," and then I'll say, "Okay, well, what did he say?" Or they'll go to one of my meetups and tell me, and then they bring their man, and then their man be looking at me like, ah. But then they can't help. They genuinely can't help but to get have good energy afterwards because, I treat them dope. You know what I'm saying? And I have so much level of respect, or I might pour into them.
Yeah.
But when women send my videos to the guy, it often at times create more of a rift.
Yes. And it goes the
In
same
their relationship
with a
and
guy
fix it.
send a woman video. It's to me, it's just unhealthy in a
Are women
relationship.
that jealous though?
What?
I think that guys
What? Women are so fragile and insecure?
guys are more competitive than women though.
Oh, of course.
So if she send my video versus him sending, it's almost like I'll tell you what it is. It's almost like gay people, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a guy with another guy is looked at worse than a girl with another girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if a guy send a girl a video of what a girl is talking about, I don't think that she's inherently looking to respond negatively as
Yes,
much as
she
a guy.
is.
As much as a guy,
Nope. I
is what
disagree.
if a girl send a guy's video to another guy, I'm telling you,
I disagree.
because that's almost like questioning his existence. It's questioning his masculinity.
To me, insecurity rears a way uglier head than competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? I've seen guys take a lot of L's where a woman might do something that might make them feel competitive or even insecure against another man, but the man won't say nothing because he's like, I ain't gonna say nothing to be looking like no sucker. Because you gotta think about that ego is a part of it too.
Six.
A lot of men ain't finna speak on that as openly as a woman will. Most men gonna try to keep it playing, and he like, I ain't gonna say I'm tripping on no other man.
It's
Even
a
if
lot
he
of
is
weak
tripping.
guys, though.
That's true too.
It's a lot of sensitive guys. It's a lot of...
That's true.
Maybe they just allowed us in a room, but it is a lot of overly sensitive guys
Yeah,
in a general sense.
that's true.
So I don't know. All right, but let me pivot for a minute, right? So let's look at it from the perspective of taking it back to Atlanta, right? And the black community and things like that. Such a big subject, but I got to ask you because I see you talking about it a lot. And so you're more of an expert than I am because I'm not as familiar with what's going on with this whole FBA, ADOS, and all of this other type of stuff. In a general sense, what are your thoughts about that whole subject?
I think it's extremely important. I think that the concept of, and for those that don't know, FBA stands for Foundational Black American. If you think about it, Black American people, I'm talking about generations we are from here. Like,
Is that the same thing as ADOS?
No, because ADOS is just the descendants of slaves, where an FBA means the descendants of slaves plus any native or, Aboriginal, or I'm sorry, indigenous Black people here as well.
Okay.
So ADOS is just the descendants of slave people who came over here from Africa, whereas FBA means all Black people who are the foundation of this country.
So FBA can be somebody that migrated over here, but is, for example, got a green card or they're considered a citizen.
No. FBA mean your family got brought here in the slave trade, like back in the 1800s.
Okay.
You honestly have to have at least probably 5 generations of born Black American people to be considered FBA.
Okay.
Because whenever you have a new land, okay, so when you immigrate, you're going from one established place to another established place. That's immigration. The reason why a foundational Black American is different is because we came to the new land and developed it.
Got you.
When you move locations and you develop that land, that now becomes your lineage. You develop this place. So our people developed this entire country.
Right.
You see? So that's
Gotcha.
different than someone who got here last year or 1 or 2 generations back. You did not contribute to building this land.
Right. And so it seems like it's kind of I'm not going to say a war, but it's kind of like a war of words between immigrants or people that migrate here, right? Because it's almost like, and this is just a sentiment that I see, right? It's almost like people feel like people that migrate here or come over, and a lot of the people that migrate here are Nigerian, right? And then they say that those people look down on people that are from America or FBA. Do you generally see that in the streets and the YouTube streets and stuff like that as far as...
And let me explain it this way. Let's say you move to Nigeria. Okay? And I'm going to put it this way. This is going to be the best way to help understand.
All right.
Let's say you move to Nigeria. You live there for 5-10 years. You work there. You have a home there. Everything. When other Nigerians are discussing their generational experience in their country, when other Nigerians are sitting around talking about their generational traumas, generational events, you, regardless of you living there for 10 years, regardless of you having a job there, they will not allow your input to affect the conversation. It's going to be like, don't you dare come over here. Your mama ain't from here. Your mama's mama ain't from here. Your family did not help build this country. Your family sacrifice didn't go into this country. So the Nigerians would have no problem telling you, excuse me, you can maybe give your little opinion, but please don't. You could not discredit their experience because you're not invested there.
Right.
So that's what it come to here is for a long time as Black Americans here, we have had a lineage and a culture the whole time. It's just been unclaimed. Last night, I saw some of the best FBA culture I saw, and we was doing that Detroit ballroom stepping with the Detroit players. That's foundational Black American culture. So it's interesting to me that for so long, we have been sold this concept that we don't have a culture or that our culture is future, and the whole time we had this rich culture that we didn't even know about.
Right.
So now we're claiming an unclaimed culture, and it's simply to say, just like Black Americans are not going to other Black countries and discrediting their experiences or how they do things, we're asking for the same thing in return. We got where we are here by not saying, let's just deal with it.
Right.
Our ancestors were like, fuck this. We're not about to keep picking this cotton. Like, there was someone picking cotton that was like, I don't want my grandkids doing this. Yep. And even though they knew that it was not going to change in their lifetime, you know, they still went about doing it. So that's how I feel when it comes to the concept of being FBA is, yes, it's true. So let's say my house is dirty as hell, and then I come over here and be like, y'all, you need to clean your house. It's like, ma'am, if you don't go back and clean your house before you tell me about my house. So my thing is, if you're not in your country because you know that the opportunities are not as good as they are here, how can you come here and critique us? How can you come here and call us lazy when all you did was bring your toothbrush, but we built the whole house? So to me, it's not even about a divide or a war. It's just simply about getting reciprocated respect, because you don't see Black Americans going to no other Black country telling people about their stuff. We respect their experience. And it's simply saying we want the same, especially when it is our grandparents' sacrifices of why we can even come here and have these opportunities.
So why is there pushback from people that migrate over here?
Well, what do you mean?
So it's almost like those that migrate here, because you wouldn't believe it. So I got roped into a conversation, which, you know, that ain't even my shtick, right?
Yeah,
like,
you don't even talk about that type
I
of
talk about money, I talk about marriage, I talk about all of that type of stuff, right? But I got roped into it simply because of what was happening, or what's happening down in Florida and Texas and Arizona, and they flying out.
Oh, with the migration.
Yeah, they flying them over to Martha's Vineyard and New York and a lot of these other cities, right? So I got roped into the conversation simply because I was covering it, but I was covering it from a financial perspective of how it's impacting things. Because, you know, for me, it always comes back to the money.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I opened up the lines, and then I had a guy call in that obviously migrated from here, and I didn't believe him. Because when I asked him, I said, hey, did you come here legally or illegally? He was stuttering, and he was trying to figure out the words to say or whatever, which that wasn't the big thing, but that set the foundation for the conversation. And so I kind of got roped into the conversation because then they started saying that I was FBA. And that's why I started getting the curiosity from, because it's like, all I'm saying is, how can you take credit for or start to feel like you have just as much say and input on what's going on here when you just came here? And so then they're like, well, Anton, you sound like Tariq Nasheed. I've never heard a Tariq Nasheed.
People say it's not about Tariq. It's about the truth.
I've never heard one stream from him. I have never seen a video. Simply because it's just not interesting me. Like, I'm interested in talking about the money.
See, they thinking you're repeating his talking point because it's just the truth. It's just the truth.
But all I said was, yo, what makes you think that you can have say-so, and what happens when you just got here? And I said, well, when did you come here? He said 2015 or 2016 or something like that. And I'm like, what makes you think that you have just as much of a vested interest as you know, what's happening here?
This is just a fact. This is factual. I don't get why this is so debatable. I mean, it's just a pure fact.
Next thing you know, of course, as usual, we know what happens. They do the response videos and all of that other stuff, which I'm cool with the response videos because, you know, it just makes me more relevant. But now all of a sudden I'm FBA, which just 6 months ago, I was just hearing people talk about the fact that I'm not even pro-black in the first place. And I don't understand how anybody can say what I am or not when I got a black wife, I got a black daughter.
That's what I tell people.
I have black people working for me. The overwhelming majority of the people that work for me are black people, which that's not necessarily what I was looking for, but those are the people that I seen or rocked with me the most. And so those are the people that are hired to be a part of what it is that I'm building, right? But then people will still say either I'm not pro-black or now I'm FBA. And I don't really understand the whole thing, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to pick your brain about it, about what you thought about the whole thing. What do you think about the whole narrative behind, you know, when people say somebody is or isn't pro-black or FBA or ADOS or, you know, all of that other type of stuff? In a general sense, what do you think, where do you think that this is stemming from? Why do you think that this is such a hot issue right now?
It's the concept of FBA.
Yeah, everything with regard to FBA. Why do you think this is such a
I think that
huge issue?
People are searching for their niche. I think that this world is kind of upside down. I think people are searching for peace, searching for answers. I think with you, you tend to feel like racism don't exist, and I
I
think
don't.
that's when people
Well, no,
be like,
it's not that I
nigga.
don't feel like it don't exist. Is that I refuse to let that be the sword that I die on as far as preventing me from doing what it is that I need to do
But
to
see,
create the
why
best
gotta go to that
experiences.
extreme? Why gotta
'Cause
go
I-
to that extreme?
because-
why it can't be? I acknowledge it exists. I know
Because
it's there. I don't
because
wanna talk
most
about it every day.
people are just looking to feel better. They're not looking to solve for their issues and their problems.
Well, you think it's important to understand the root of a problem?
You are.
What do you mean I am?
You may be looking to do that, understand the root of the problem. But I found that men don't operate like that. And when
So
when I see men operate in a space where they're looking for validation or they're looking for you to acknowledge it, and it's almost like, okay, I acknowledge it, now what? And they have no answers. And then they move over to the next platform and they want somebody else to acknowledge it. They're not actually doing nothing different. They're not doing the work, right? And that's the argument that I have with them. I say, okay, I acknowledge it, but then if you pro-black and then I don't acknowledge racism, but I'm doing more for people that look like you, what does it mean to be pro-black if all you doing is talking about it, but it doesn't manifest itself in anything other than you going to platform,
Well, see,
looking
I
for
think
acknowledgement?
that's part of the problem. I think that the concept of being pro-black is like how much you're doing for other black people or how much you're holding hands and kumbaya with black people, and that's not what being pro-black is.
What is it?
Being pro-black is just simply loving yourself. It's simply putting yourself first. You know what I'm saying? All races are pro themselves, but they don't have a system trying to
I
make
think
them
that's cap,
not be
sis.
pro themselves, so they
I
don't
don't
have to have a
believe that
name.
that's true.
That all races are not pro themselves.
I don't believe that people are leaning towards what you just defined being pro-black is.
Well, see, this is the thing, Anton. Even when we talk about, being successful and making moves, you don't think that it is harder for a black man? You don't think that there's things put in place to make things harder for us or hold us back? Like, whereas other men can just exist and be and build, you don't think at all that being black is not to say a hindrance, but that we have to acknowledge that racism does exist, white supremacy does exist, because in everything from starting a business to getting a loan, the blackness can affect all of that. So I think that's what people are saying is, I don't think that being pro-black means, I just sit and complain about racism and don't do anything for myself. You can still do things for yourself, but even in the things you do for yourself, the dust from white supremacy is sprinkled all over.
I don't see it, Six.
You didn't see how Bank of America got in trouble having black homeowners with higher interest rates, adding another tens of thousands. That's a small example. Even buying a home as a black person, you have to wonder. You ain't seen black people get their house appraised and they appraise it for lower. Then they have a white person do they get it higher. So even in your progress, even in us moving forward, the racism is always an obstacle in there in some way.
I don't see it, Six, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've ascended to some of the highest positions in corporate America. I've been able to become wealthier than the overwhelming majority of the white people in this country. And more importantly, I've seen people, even in those positions, not necessarily with regard to me, but I've seen people get overlooked because they are white in order for them to be able to meet certain criteria from people that may not even have been as qualified as their white counterpart, right?
See, I think you're oversimplifying it.
I can't oversimplify.
You're making it a matter of white person did not get this opportunity.
Well, I'm using that as an example. I'm using that as an example.
Let me say this before you go on, just
Okay,
real quick.
go ahead.
They always give something to at least one nigga. Okay? And this is where it starts to get, because what I do know about you is you do succumb to white comfortability.
You think so?
Absolutely. You don't have no problem making white folks feel comfortable. Me, I don't give a damn.
I love white people.
Yeah, you don't mind going out your way to make them comfortable.
Love white people.
They will put a nigga like you in position for what you're doing right now to say, you niggers, okay, racism is not a thing. Look at me. They do
love
that
white
on
people,
purpose.
Six.
So you gotta look at it from bigger than just you. I think you.
But
look
I
at it from
love
just
black
your
people too.
perspective. It's not about loving nobody.
No, it is, Six.
No, it's
And I'm gonna
not.
tell you why it is.
No one loves anyone but the only person that love you is your kids.
No.
No
that's
one
not
else
true.
love you.
People white people
No,
adore me.
No, they don't.
They adore me.
Would they
Six.
adore you if you didn't go out your way to make them feel comfortable all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
I cuss white people out like crazy. I'm an equal accountability partner. I give smoke to everybody. Let me tell you why, Six. I'm gonna give you two.
I am not involved in this. This is all him, y'all. Do not attach me to this.
I'm gonna give you two reasons why I think this way, right? The first reason is I will never let anything or anyone prevent me from being successful, right? And the way that I give them power is to acknowledge anybody to be greater than what my capabilities are.
That's not the point.
No. I'm giving you two reasons why I think this way. That's the first reason I think this way.
But what does that have to do with what we're talking about now?
The second reason why I think this way is because it's so difficult for me to evaluate somebody based off of what they look like. Because I feel like I believe that it's not about the things that you can't control, it's the things that you can control that defines who you are. So I can't move based off of the fact that somebody else is moving based off of racism, right? If somebody, let's just say this white guy over here, and he decides that he don't like me based off of what I look like, right? And then I react to him, and then I make adjustments according to how he's moving. I've given them power over me because I'm acknowledging what it is that he feels about me. Whereas when I move based off of my own set of standards, and I just completely ignore what you got going on because you have no power or wherewithal to be able to determine in 2022 the direction of my life, the less power and the less acknowledgement that I give somebody over what it is that I have going on, the more I'm empowered to do the greatest things for me and the people that support me and love me. So I don't subject myself to that mindset because all it does is, in my opinion, it continues to push this narrative where there's going to be division versus me empowering people. I can't spend my time on war. I got to spend my time on building because war tears down, and then building and pouring into people actually manifests greater opportunities for those that truly rock with me, right? And so I can't spend my time. When I was in school, when I was in college, all of the dudes, every last one of the dudes that was pro-black, that wanted to approach me and have conversations and debate and wanted me to acknowledge white supremacy and things like that, every last one of them dudes dropped out, didn't actually go to class, didn't actually do anything. Whereas when they were criticizing me, saying that, Anton, you're the only black person in the class that you in because I was going into software engineering, I graduated. I excelled, right? And I grew to the highest levels of corporate America. And what that allowed me to do was go in and hire anybody that I felt was best for the position. Now I'm in a position of power to do other things. But if I'd have spent my time with them, they still on the corner trying to be rappers. You know what I'm saying? And got nothing going on and they did nothing for nobody. They out here creating baby mamas, right? They out here ruining their community. They sell poison in their community. They influence people in the wrong way. And it's like, yo, how pro-black can you truly be if all you doing is using talking points from other people, but the results don't mean anything, right? I'm more pro-black, even not being pro-black, than a lot of these people that say that they're pro-black, because I do hire other people. I do pour into my community. I do advocate for people to do the right thing. I do give the right information. I am building and keeping wealth within these households and these walls, and then pouring into other people and investing in other people's businesses and giving a platform to other people that may not even agree with me and stuff like that. I'm more pro-black than a lot of these pro-black people proclaim themselves to be. Because then they'll go out and then ruin a community and create more broken households. And I'm trying to understand, how is pro-black an action? Like love, is love an action word, or is love just a feeling? And that's kind of like my sentiment. Like I can't hear it because I don't see it. I don't see when people are actually doing anything. The majority of the people that I see advocating for this, I don't see them moving in action. I only see them talking about it.
Well, I see, and from me listening to you talking, because everything you just said, I think sounds beautiful, but that literally has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
You got to educate me, Six.
Well, the problem is you're looking at it from an individualistic standpoint instead of a systematic standpoint. You're comparing your thoughts to different people you've come across in your life or things you've personally done. when it comes to being pro-black, you're not pro-black for a reward. The way you're describing it is, well, the pro-black is not going to get me a reward. Pro-blackness is not about a reward. It's not about loving all black people, and it's not about giving anything to other people and doing for anyone. It is simply saying, and even here in YouTube, as a black content creator, if I Google how to put up curtains, it's going to be 5 videos with white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls, and their videos coming first. Then the black girl video going to come 6. So even though both women are putting in work to create this content and put out quality content, the black woman's result will be down here.
We don't know that, 6.
It literally is a thing. It's the way the algorithm works. Example, if you post something on Twitter and it's a black person or a white person, Twitter will automatically default the white person's picture first.
Well, I can't say that you're wrong because I can't dispute it, right?
No, you can look this up. Let me tell you how deep it gets. When you go to the bathroom and wash your hands, have you ever went to put your hand under the soap thing and the soap won't come out? Those are designed to recognize Caucasian colored hands. And it's funny because it's almost like,
no, 6, all of our hands are lighter on the other side.
I am telling you now. And that's why I say you have to pay attention to the system of it. What do you expect right now? A lot of black content creators are starting to speak up and say, hey, we're tired of this. Because if it was the other way around and we were getting propped up in the algorithm and white folks weren't, they wouldn't say, y'all just be quiet. We can still be successful. Don't let this beat you. No, they would be losing their shit to make a move to make it equal. So my issue with I feel what you're saying. My only issue is, and we'll both agree to disagree, I know racism 100%.
No, I like this.
It's involved in every aspect of everything you do, from the business you start to the job you have. It will affect your appraisals, your loan approvals, all of that. That is a fact for me, and it ain't got to be a fact for you. So
6.
This is fact. I don't understand.
We love white people.
We?
Yes.
You. I'm indifferent towards them.
You and us both.
I could care less about them.
And everybody else, and Mexicans.
Absolutely
and
not.
Asians and.
Only time you'll see me talk to them is if I'm finessing for the check. If you see me kikiing, I'm finessing for the check for sure. For sure. You know, and what it come down to is, again, it's not about this black person did this or this white person did this. It's simply saying we have to be aware of the system. This is how we make things better for ourselves. We cannot ignore disadvantages that are systematically put against us, like our ancestors didn't. Our ancestors didn't just deal with what they did. They said, no, we want better. So I'm not going to say racism don't exist. I want to speak on it. I want to make it known. I want to make it. How can you get a problem fixed when you can't even acknowledge it's a problem? So that maybe content creators in 2-3 generations won't have to go through that. But if we just ignore blatant racism, that don't help no one. Just because we got what we want, now we want to ignore it. We have to look at it as bigger than us. There's people coming after us. That's all it's about. I think you're looking at it on very like people.
Well, you have to look at it.
No, it's system.
Based off of people.
It's system.
But people make up the system.
Let's say I smell right now. Let's say I stink.
No, you smell good.
But let's say if I did. Let's say if I was stinky.
I just gotta say that for the people because
I don't stink, just so y'all know. But
she
I'm just giving an example.
She smell really
good.
Let's
say, what is that? Dolce.
Shout out to
Dolce.
Shout out to 6 with the good smell.
Shout out. But my point is, let's say if I smell and I'm like, damn, like I took a shower, I put on, I still smell. You have to figure out the root. The root might be maybe you're eating pork belly and Pepsi every day. And that pork belly and Pepsi coming out your pores. So you might sit there and wash and put the deodorant, but the smell's still there because you didn't go to the root of what it was. So at the end of the day, we all out here making moves. We doing our thing. I am all for us making our money, taking care of our family, but we have to always acknowledge that underlying smell, the root of everything, is going to be racism and white supremacy. It's okay to acknowledge it. Then you can say, okay, let me cut that out my diet. Now I'm smelling better. So my thing is, I think it's dangerous to not acknowledge it. Even that instance that happened with you with that white man in that bakery, and they sat there and let that man attack you, and then still served.
I don't feel like I was attacked.
Still served him his fucking food.
I don't feel like I was attacked.
Not one person asked him to leave. They still took his money. When if that would have been your black ass attacking him like that, you would have been escorted out, and they would not have served you.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. 6.
We'll just agree to disagree. Okay, Anton.
No. Okay, listen. Think about it like this,
okay,
right?
Anton.
Think
so
about
you're
it
saying
like
that
this.
man did not attack you?
No.
Did you see the same video I saw?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, listen. I I won't, it's not in me to turn my back on the people. I know you looking at it from a system perspective, right? A systematic
Who are you
perspective.
talking about turning your back on?
It's people that have held me down that don't look nothing like me.
That's fine, but Anton, do you understand what a white savior complex is?
No, that's not what this is, though.
Okay,
tell me what it is. I want to know.
Black people need to stop getting flattered when white people do things for them, because white people have an inferiority complex for us in general. The minute a white man come in contact with you, the black man is always superior. We're talking about genetically, just at his core. So white people have a complex called, like you saw the lady where she was trying to get embryos, and it was like 2 black embryos, and the white couple implanted.
You gotta
they
tell
wanted
me
to
about
save
that.
the black. It was a white couple, and it was 2 black embryos that had been sitting there, and the white people were like, "We'll take it." White people feel like by helping us or saving us, it makes them more powerful than us. So they'll disguise things they do for us.
Why can't they just genuinely want? Why can't there be on an individual level
Because there's
people
no
that
such
genuinely
thing.
want the best for you?
Because there's no such thing as equality between us. This is why white people have to have a system to keep us at a certain distance, because when we talk about our ability, like physically, mentally, we'll surpass them every time. So they have to keep this gap. It's never that they're just genuinely, they're doing that because they're ahead of you and going to be able to stay ahead of you in certain ways.
I don't believe so.
Okay. It's a white savior. White people do things for black people because they want to feel
But it's not just white
powerful.
people, right? It's
anybody non-black. It's
the
a
majority
complex.
of people. If you look at households, right, the average household income, based off of race and demographic, white people aren't too far ahead of black people, and those aren't even the people that are making the
Well,
majority
they're
of
more
money.
far ahead in their humanity. You understand that?
What do you think?
They have more human rights. For going back to the example we talk about when you got attacked, you could not even defend yourself. You could not even defend yourself because you knew that even if you would have been within your right to defend yourself as not only as a human but as a man, your black ass would have still got locked up.
Well, you don't know
all
what
the
happened
police,
to him though.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters.
What matter? I know he got served that food, which was disgusting. I couldn't believe they actually
That's
served him.
irrelevant.
It's relevant.
No, because
point
you don't
is,
know
you
what
couldn't
happened on the
defend
back
yourself.
end. No, I did.
As a man.
Well, no,
You couldn't, because you knew they was gonna
See,
lock
this is
your
the
black
thing.
ass up.
This is the thing, sis.
Even though you went there, you're right.
The way that he operated, and this is the thing that people don't understand, is that the reason why we get locked up a lot of times is because we react emotionally and we're not thinkers.
Anton.
We react emotionally. Hear me out here. We react emotionally.
Well, let
and
me
we're not
put my
thinkers.
disclaimer. I am not involved in this part of the conversation.
No,
I'm not saying
think
this.
about it. Think about
That's
it.
him.
Think about it. We react emotionally and we're not thinkers. So
Why we react emotionally?
The entire time that it was because we have things that are passed down.
PTSD.
No, because most of us that exist today have never truly went through anything race related. Most people that are existing in 2022. Okay, so let me break this down. No.
Are you trolling me?
No, I'm serious. Hear
I feel like
me
you-
out.
I feel
Hear
like
me
you-
out. Hear me out, Six. Think about it.
I feel like you just trolling me.
People that existed before us, right? Ancestors, great grandparents, and all of those type of people, right? The things that they went through in order to become successful. It's interesting because they were incredibly more successful at keeping their households together, becoming professionals, so on and so forth, generating wealth, and even building their own communities. And they experienced true racism, so much so to where they had to be systematically destroyed.
I see the problem. You think racism is like, I'm hanging you from a tree, nigger.
No,
That's what
no.
you think. You don't. Okay,
When you say
I see the problem.
when
now.
you say systematically,
You think
I
racism
understand.
is very overt. I hate you, black person.
I
That's
know
not
what you're
racism.
saying when you're saying systematically,
Ooh,
right?
No, you don't.
I do understand
don't.
what
You
you're
don't
saying.
understand. 'Cause
But
you
my
wanna just say what you
point
said.
is that even let's bring it back up to the incident that happened supposedly with me with the white guy that was at the shop, right?
I'd attack you.
He didn't attack me. But here's the
attacked
thing.
me.
The thing that people, and when I looked at the comments and I was looking at the reactions and stuff like that, right? Everybody was reacting the same way that they would normally react is, yo, you should have knocked his head off, or if he even came touch, if he was in your space, you could have defended yourself, so on and so forth. And I was thinking to myself, well, why would I react like that when that's exactly what people would want me to do if they were looking for me to get in trouble. They want me to put my bag on the line. They want me to go viral by doing something crazy. They want me to knock his head off, so on and so forth. But that's not the way in which you deal with confrontation. You got to think through that stuff, right? I can't do anything if I have to get bailed out in the morning and I got to sit in jail for the next 3 days.
Why would you sit in jail when you're on camera telling the man to get away from you and back away from you? And this is during COVID, and he get this close in your face.
But the point
you are
is
within
that
your right to remove that person out. I'm not saying you had to knock him out, but if you would have laid a finger on him like this, your ass would have been in jail. Even though it was
my point is that I'm more powerful when I'm thinking through the scenario, because the thing that I'm focused on is at the results. I'm not focused on the current situation. And I think that we as people often focus on how we need to react to the current situation instead of being proactive with what it is that we're doing in order to get to the results that we got to.
I think we're good.
He had no bearing. He had no impact or influence or anything on what it is that I was going to be doing the minute that he got out of my presence.
Did he go to jail? Did he get arrested for stalking and harassing and attacking you?
Maybe.
Absolutely not.
Maybe.
No, he did not go to jail. He did not see it.
Maybe.
No, he did not.
I'm telling you,
Then say if he did he? No.
I don't believe that he went to jail, but I do believe that he was affected financially.
You think he cares?
Absolutely.
So you think he's on the street holding a cup right now?
No, he may not be on the street holding a cup, but he is affected financially.
Okay.
He is affected financially.
He's a white man in America.
And if you want to get to somebody, you touch their bag. If you want to listen, him going to jail tomorrow affects him nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
It's principle. You would
and I had a better impact
let me
on
ask
him.
you this.
Okay.
If you did what he did, would you have went to jail?
No.
Do you think those people in there would have called the police on you?
No. I don't believe so. I'm genuinely
okay. So racism. Let me tell you the extent of racism and how it go in time. Do you know where my mom's dead body is?
Now you landed on me heavy.
No, because I want you to understand the real meaning of racism. You think racism is white people nice? It's not. You know who?
We were doing shots before this, and I'm about to have to do another shot.
You might need to, because you don't want to hear what I gotta say.
I do want to hear what you gotta say.
Do you know who Henrietta Lacks is?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Fill me in. Fill me in.
I'm not gonna go here. It's too dark. But to say that in present day 2022, we don't experience racism now is crazy, and I'm glad you've lived a good life like that.
If you need to go and educate me, then educate me. But
Henrietta Lacks is when black women, we're universal mothers. We're the mothers of the universe. We're everyone's mom.
Okay.
So our bodies are very valuable with science. Let's talk about the black women they using as science projects. That's what racism is. Racism is white people control your consequence. They control your punishment. Black people are not in any real control of things that matter. We're just not. I can't deny white people opportunities. Matter of fact, white people can honestly go their whole life and never need a nigga for nothing. Whereas it doesn't work that way for us. We're not in positions of power that way. That's what racism is about. It's a brother in Atlanta named Shaka Zulu, my boy. Shaka Zulu is a dope brother. Don't say that though, because they trying to rap niggas into this.
Oh.
I don't say Ludacris. He his own man. They try to say Ludacris man trying to get Shaka Zulu. 4 men tried to kill him. He shot back and they arrested him.
I read about that.
That's an example of why you don't stand behind bitch ass DAs like Atlanta DA. Like, yeah, lock them up, because do you know how easy it is for an innocent nigga to get caught up in that? And you egging them on like, lock them all up, give them all the maximum sentence. Yeah, until you caught up in something, and they keeping that same energy. That's why it's dangerous for black people to champion that. Yeah, get these rappers messing up our communities. Meanwhile, white kids killing their parents and no one talks about it.
Yeah, we are. The dude from
nobody talking about that shit. We don't talk about that. It's just us.
Well,
Atlanta has the highest level of inflation in the whole country, and they shut down all the projects and put $4,000 a month condos there and left no affordable housing. Then say, look at the crime rate. That's what racism is. We're going to take your housing away, replace it with something you can't afford. Then when you start committing crime, say, I'm going to lock you up the maximum sentence. That's an example of what real racism is. Black people can't kick white folks out their neighborhood. You don't hear white folks saying, I saw a black girl with a puppy in a Starbucks. There goes the neighborhood. No. So in Atlanta, you have Adamsville. You have a whole bunch of projects that no longer exist. And they are now literally $4,000 a month condos. So you kick these people out of the house they can afford, then say, why are you committing these crimes? Yeah.
All right, so you know what? You just put a thought in my head, right? I'm curious as to what you think about. I recently interviewed. I don't know if you've even seen it, but I recently interviewed Charleston White. Mm-hmm. You know,
I was just asking Rhea, like, who is he?
You don't know who Charleston White is?
She gave me a little rundown. I've heard his name, but I'm like, what is this man known for? Is he a rapper? Like,
no,
what does man do?
He's a community activist. He got out of prison. I think he killed somebody back when he was like a young guy, like a teenager or something like that. But he's really, really intelligent. Like when you have a conversation with him, and he's from Dallas, I believe. But he's a community activist, and he does a lot of things in the community and helping young guys and stuff like that. But more importantly, he's known or is very, very popular because he maced Soulja Boy.
He made Soulja Boy.
He maced.
Maced?
He maced Soulja Boy.
How random.
That's well, because rappers don't like him because he's an advocate for getting rappers locked up. Mm-hmm. Well, let me revise that. He's an advocate against gangs, and he thinks that a lot of rappers, especially the ones that are popular today, are glorifying and living the life of gangsters, in which he thinks is the worst things for the community. Mm-hmm. And he wants to see most rappers locked up as a result of it.
Okay.
You've never heard of him? You've never seen him before?
I've heard of him. I've heard his name. I'm like, I don't know what he do.
Yeah, so he goes after rappers. He tried to get them locked up and all of that.
So why they don't go after the music companies that are funding it?
I don't know.
Like, you going after the rapper, go after the machine that's putting the money behind it.
Well,
because they white, so they
like,
can't be the bad guy. The black rapper, the bad guy.
He said, Young Thug need to do 10 years.
Oh, but Young Thug is a degenerate. Like, can we not use Young Thug as an example? Come on.
Okay, I give you.
Like, let's
but see, I don't know
like,
how familiar
okay, so you
you
Christian.
are.
You Christian. Do you want janky pastors to represent Christianity?
No.
You know what Christianity means to you and what it's done for you.
Correct.
So I don't like when we have a beautiful thing, which is hip hop, and we have the most ugliest, most degenerate people, and we put them as the face of the culture. No. Can we not bring up Young Thug?
Is the culture... I got a question for you. Is the culture a reflection of the people that buy the music and advocate for it, though? So, like, for example, when you say... Because one of the things that you said was you don't like the current state of Atlanta because it's kind of like a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Mm-hmm. And when you see the people, a lot of the people that are really, really popular in hip-hop, for example, you see the Lil Nas X's, right? You see the Young Thugs that wore a dress before and all of this other type of stuff. Mm-hmm. When we start to have those type of conversations, is that and the culture of what it's becoming a reflection of the people? Like when I see people that are in office, if Stacey Abrams get elected, is Stacey Abrams getting elected really a reflection of the people that vote for her? Which is really the culture. Because she can't get in on her own. Somebody got to vote for her. Somebody got to advocate for her. Somebody got to stomp for her. Somebody got to raise money for her, right? Is her even on the ballot and having the level of support that she has? Or these rappers that, you know what I'm saying, advocate for this lifestyle and stuff like that, are they really just a reflection of the people, you know what I'm saying, that they create music for?
Well, when you go to these rappers' concerts, have you ever looked in the crowd? It be white folks.
There be a lot of black people there too, though.
No, it be mostly white folks.
I don't go to rapper concerts.
Well, I do, and I'm telling you right now, you go to a DaBaby concert, you go there, it's white, it's suburban.
But they degenerates too. I don't think that you can remove them from being a part of the culture, especially considering how much they spend money, how much they embrace it. They going through a lot of the same things that a lot of these people that look like us is going through too. They going through an opioid crisis. The Post Malones and all of them, they dope fiends and all of that other type of stuff too, though.
Crisis.
You don't think it's a crisis? You don't think it's a crisis? In a general sense? I ain't talking about just the opioid crisis, but you don't think that it's a crisis? Like when you said that Atlanta is messed up, you don't think that that's an issue?
Stop trying to play footsie with me, Anton. Get them alligators.
And I'm not. And I'm not editing that out either.
Y'all, and I try to play footsie to be.
But do you don't think that you don't think that okay, I'll give you an example. A lot of people listen to T.I. A lot of people think that T.I. is a voice for the culture.
Okay.
And I think that T.I. is pretty ignorant. I think T.I. can't even get his own household in order. His own son is getting arrested and stuff like that. Like, I'm not a fan of T.I. the person. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of T.I. the artist. Mm-hmm. But then he has a lot to say, and he feels as though he's the voice for the culture. And every time something happens, he's at the forefront of saying what people should and shouldn't do.
Expeditiously.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean, you know, if something is true and if something works, I don't really care who it comes from.
Really?
Yeah, I personally don't. Like if it's true and it works and that's what it is, cool. If it's the truth and that's what it need to be, that's what it need to be. But, you know, I don't know.
What do you think about, let me pivot for a second, because the hot topic right now is my man, Ime. I think his name is Ime Udoka.
Talk about this.
Ime Udoka, right?
I am floored.
Why are you floored? So
I've never in my life.
So as of this recording, let me bring y'all up to speed. As of this recording, what I've recently read, and you can fill me in on if I'm missing something.
I got all the tea.
All right, so go ahead, give me the game. What are your thoughts on it in a general sense? Because I recently found out that it was a VP,
VP
within the organization, his wife, supposedly, allegedly. Right?
Oh, we have to say allegedly.
Yeah, I'm going to say allegedly.
It's allegedly, but yeah.
What do you think? And nobody was even mentioning Nia Long. She was kind of like...
Nia Long is unproblematic.
That's what I'm saying. She wasn't even in the news. She ain't
never, yeah. She don't do all that.
What do you think about that? This whole... It's so much to mine through.
Well, first, are you going to tell... You want me to tell them what happened, or are you going to tell them?
No, you can tell them.
I've been investigating. I'm so intrigued by stupidity to this level. I didn't even know it was possible to be so dumb. Like, wow. How does one make it this far in life?
I don't know.
Being so dumb.
But they say that that's the culture, right? Like, I was listening to some sportscasters, and they obviously have been reporting on a lot of the different things that's been happening for decades now, right? Mm-hmm. And they was just saying that, it's just like an unspoken culture of a lot of guys, not all of them, but a lot of guys just kind of living that life, like the side chicks and
thirst.
Not just the players, the coaches, the people that work within the organization, all of that type of stuff.
And then claim, pussy don't run me, it's just pussy. I can't tell.
Do you
it
think
look like pussy is running you niggas.
You think that pussy run the world?
Pussy is running these niggas. That's what I know. Facts. I don't want to hear, from this point, I don't want to hear no more man say, it's just pussy, you don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's cap.
Do you think that it's impossible for a guy, or not impossible, but it's very, very unlikely for a guy that get to a certain status to remain faithful?
No, it's not hard.
Why is that? A lot of women gonna disagree with you. I know a lot of women that say once a guy get to a certain level, it's difficult.
The only thing you have to do in your life is eat, drink water, take a shower, sleep, breathe. These are things you have to do. Anything you do
and
outside,
have sex.
Look at you, nasty.
No, I'm saying because that is an essential part of most men's agenda, right? Like,
yeah. But my point is, if you're married, that means the sex is there. So if you still going after it, it means you did not have to do that. It was outside of the realm of what you needed to do. And what I also think is a big part of it is, I don't think men can understand that. They think that when a woman sleep with them, they've conquered the woman. And it's like, sir, you did not conquer nothing. These bitches ain't shit. They will sleep with you and still not respect you. I wish more men could hear about the way these women talk about y'all behind y'all back. Not y'all, but you know what I'm saying, everybody.
I know what you're saying.
I wish they could hear it, because they really think they did something. Crimson Cure talked about this, and she
Shout out to Crimson
I love
Cure.
Crimson Cure.
I love Crimson Cure too.
She talk about. Have you heard her talk about the F-19 simp?
No, you gotta.
Oh
you gotta
my
give me
God,
the name.
gotta
You
be
give
the
me game.
greatest thing that I
I'm
have
about
ever
to
heard
get
someone
Crimson
say.
Cure up here.
Crimson Cure, I love that sister. That sister be on it.
Yeah, she
She's talking
does.
about the F-19 simp, where you have so many men that say things like, I'm only doing it just for some pussy. Not realizing that's the lowest, stupidest thing you can do. Now you got women like Erica Banks that is basic,
true. That is
basic as hell, okay? That because a man don't told her what she want to hear to have sex, now she really thinks she that girl. She thinks she naturally fine. So the problem is you got these men that go around risking their career, their money, their family for this pussy. That's the ultimate simping.
Is it that powerful though?
Clearly, that's why I say niggas is lying. It is that powerful. It is that serious.
Never, ever even considered risking $1.
Period.
And when I say $1, I'm not
And I
giving
know you
up
mean
and
that.
losing.
I know you literally mean
You
that.
know me.
Not name.
I'm about my bags. I don't play when I come to my
Period.
I'm about my cars, my watches, my bags, my
Period.
lifestyle, my trips, everything.
Period.
I don't fly nothing but first class, and I don't fly nobody in it nothing but first class. Right?
Period. Cause honey, y'all gonna adopt me. Y'all, if y'all see me with like, my adoption papers, I've reached out to Anton and Rita to adopt me. So if y'all see they adopt me, don't say nothing.
But I honestly, and I always advocate, and I talk about dick discipline on a regular basis, right? And I get a lot of pushback from guys.
Yeah.
And they say, "Yo, Ton, don't try to hold me accountable. Don't try to police my dick."
Yeah.
Right. And guys, for some reason, well, let me go back to this coach, right?
Yes. Tell them the story.
So
I'm gonna add in what you forget.
Do you know that I read today that allegedly the woman that he cheated with is the woman that was arranging for her flights and assisting me along with her move to Boston?
Bitches ain't shit. People think I'm joking when I say that. Bitches ain't shit. Oh my God, they are not shit. They ain't shit. They are so conniving. Ooh, women are just ooh.
You think that women are worse than guys?
What?
I don't know. I've heard some egregious things from some guys.
No, because women, it's natural for women. Like women, we just chaotic. We naturally jealous. That's just how we are. It's natural. See, men got to step out their energy to accomplish that level of tit for tat and hating and weird stuff. Whereas women, they just breathe, and it's just how we naturally wired to be. To me, a woman have to learn how to not be shit. Like a woman have to learn how to not be manipulative, how to not be that way, because we're just prone to be that way. Because we're the physically weaker species, so we tend to finesse more than we come at things straight. So, it's a lot of women that do that.
What if she really loved him?
Who?
The side chick.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he loves her. Can I tell the story? Let me tell the story.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got all the tea. All this is allegedly, because we ain't trying to get sued and play with y'all people. But so this is how I go. So this is how bad it gets. Ooh, first of all, you're engaged. How you feel people that are engaged for a long time? That are engaged for 5 years? What is that?
I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in
her and him been engaged for like 7 years.
He had been getting engaged allegedly since 2015.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
But then I had read some reports that she said that she didn't want to get married or something like that.
I love Rita.
I
love her.
That's usually the sentiment. People like Rita more than they like me.
Like literally,
I'm gonna stop introducing her to my friends. I'm not.
Yeah, because how can you not love Rita? Like I literally love Rita.
Do y'all know that the first interaction that Six and I had was based off of the fact that she was looking at my marriage stuff?
Yeah, the video you did, ooh, I loved it. I said I don't see no black men doing this. So in my Patreon,
because they hide their chicks.
We watching a show called Indian Matchmaker. Okay. And
look at Rita, right up your alley.
You watched it? I love India. So we are dissecting it So I was showing how there's a guy in there where the men around him are like, when are you getting married? Then when he did get married, they were coaching him through, okay, and they're Indian, so they have different, he's like, they have to wear a sword, and the men around him were counseling him on the culture behind their weddings and why it's important. And I told the ladies, I said, see, this is what the institution of marriage is about. Marriage is not only initiated by men, but it is kind of mandated and what's the word I'm looking for?
You know, I get a lot of pushback.
Regulated by men.
I get a lot of pushback from
let me finish before I forget,
men.
'cause I want to really give you your flowers on this.
Aww.
Before I forget.
You're so nice.
You were the only black male content creator that not only was advocating marriage, but explained why. And when I was scrolling through, I don't know, God bless the algorithm sometime, I don't know how it came through, but you had a video said, how I use my marriage to get rich. And I said, that is what I'm talking about. This is the level of game people not ready for, because people think marriage is just, oh, I love them. Yeah. They don't even understand. When we speak on why marriage is important, I love how you gave us very specific, tangible benefits. Like a man just advocating marriage and showing you why. When I saw that video, I said, these are my tribe. What I'm working on, a tribe of people that, get it. And I commend you so much for that, because I don't think you understand how important that is.
I appreciate you, baby.
You're welcome. Okay,
now
I want to make sure.
No, you got to pull us in and give us the insight.
Okay,
on
so first of all, you're engaged to Nia Long for 1,000 years. Red flag number 1. Okay, you make it to be a head, not assistant, not director, a head coach of a major team. Yeah. Okay, major team. So how many, do you know on top of your head how, I know Rita said that the Pistons coach is black. Yeah. Approximately how many black head coaches there are? Do you know off the top of your head? I think it's maybe 4 tops. Probably count on one hand, right?
It's maybe 4.
So we already know the
maybe
stereotype.
Maybe 4 or 5, something like that.
The stereotype that come with black men. You can't put them in these positions. They're not going to be able to handle it. So to me, if you're going to be a black head coach, in my opinion, it automatically comes with a certain level of responsibility to not fuck up.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're already thinking that you ain't going to be able to do it. So to me, I would want him to be even more careful. Like, this is opening doors in general. We are changing the narrative. You got all these black players, and none of them are in the real positions of power and money. That's a problem. So you're given a position. This is a step forward. What we doing good. So if you see the press conference, it's the president and the vice president at the press conference. Okay, the president is on this side.
Is it the guy whose wife actually got cheated on? Come on.
He had to do the. So
nah, give me a leave of absence, sir.
But it's so much worse, Anton. So when it first came out, it was he had messed with like pineapples. When it first came out, it was that he had messed with one person. Mm-hmm. This man was allegedly sleeping with multiple women at the job. Guess how he got exposed? How? Because bitches ain't shit. Because he messing around with multiple women, they start getting what? Jealous of each other. Okay? So they find out. Do you know how retarded you got to be as a woman to be a man's side chick and get mad because you have other side chicks? So these dumb ass hoes and whores decided to be sleeping with this man in a whole relationship. Then when they found out they weren't the only side chick, when they found out who it was, they were like, oh, hell no. And every time a woman don't get her way from a man in a situation, she will expose him. Every time. I don't know why niggas still even cheat with the way women expose. Back in the day, side chicks did not want to be exposed. They wanted to be hidden somewhere. Now, the women come forward and telling everyone. And I'm like, I hate it here. When did this happen that now women are exposing and so proud of this? So one of the girls that she finds out he dealing with is married to the VP of the team. So she then exposes the relationship because she was mad because she found out he had other side chicks. And the VP goes to him. I did not know all of this. I got the whole tea. The VP then goes to him and he's like, listen, because you can imagine, name one thing worse
Nah, that's a problem.
Name one thing worse to be a powerful VP of a team like him and find out that your black subordinate is blacking out your wife. Name one thing worse.
Boy, they wanted that BBC.
She wanted to get blacked.
She wanted
to get black. And then white men already have a racism towards black penis. You know what I'm saying? The underlying root of white and black men's beef is the penis. So a white man.
That's not a beef. That's a lost.
Boy.
Let me stop.
The point is, as a black man, you already know sleeping with a man wife, period, is wrong. Is a no-no. Mm-hmm. On top of that, a white man wife. Come on, you know how many niggas died behind that? Then the nigga last name is Lynch. The name is like something Lynch. You slept with a white man wife with the last name Lynch? Wow, you're brave. So let me tell you how I knew it was a white woman. Because they were protecting her. Because I was like, yo, why is this hoe not plastered everywhere? You know why? Because the VP is not ready for his life to be ruined when everyone finds out that it was your wife that he was blacking out.
Do he leave her? Do he gotta leave her?
Let me tell you how I know.
There's more to it?
Oh, there's more to it.
Oh my God.
So now let me tell you how I know that Ime is in love with this woman. Because the VP comes and is like, hey, listen, I don't want this getting out. Leave my fucking wife alone. We'll sweep it under the rug. We'll move on. It doesn't happen. I don't want this being a thing. This is too embarrassing.
Yeah. He
keeps messing with her.
Oh, no, dog.
That man came to you man to man. Stop fucking my wife.
You can't.
He kept doing it. Then, did you see when they gave him the consequence? He said, I accept it. So you would want to die about this white woman cooch. You want to die about it?
Maybe she was laying it down.
Well, whatever push you got, sis, call me. I need to know whatever you did, show me. Boy, she must got 2 coochies.
All right, so I'm curious now.
Each one more wet than the other one.
I got a lot of questions now.
Cause ain't no way.
You coaching these people through this. All right. This is you are at the forefront and you are the media relations and confidant of these women. Question number 1. The VP's girl. Is the VP supposed to leave her?
Yes.
So he got to let her go?
He got to let her go.
Leave her for the streets?
And he got to come back with a bad chick. He has to leave her and come back with a baddie. A 10, nothing less than a 10.
All right, that's A.
Yeah.
B, the second question is from Nia Long's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. What does she do?
She leaves.
She got to go?
She got to go.
Why?
And the reason why...
I say she got to stick with her man.
And normally I would say that. I don't believe in, like me, I'm not leaving my man because my man has sex with someone. We got family and shit to do. I'm not doing that. However...
She got a young son with him.
Yeah, it's not about he has sex. It's about, number 1, like I said, why do niggas have I can't say why they're not married, but have a woman at home and then want to have other relationships. Like, to me, if the men are just saying it's just about the sex, then why you can't just go,
you leave it alone?
Why? No, they be pillow talking, telling their business and falling in love. Yeah. So, yes, if you start another relationship with another woman, I don't like that because I find that my daddy call it tender dick. He said it's tender dick. You a falling in love ass nigga. You fall in love with every woman you sleep with. As a woman, that's dangerous to be with a man like that. Like if you're a woman and you are with a man that cheat, he gotta be that type of man that's like, girl, I ain't never leaving my woman. Don't even think about it. You want to get some of this D, fine, and I'm going home. Yeah. Most men ain't strong enough to do that. They're gonna start falling in love. So if you have a falling in love, lover boy ass nigga, God help you. So he's out here falling in love with the side chick. And number 1, wrong. Number 2, you messed up our money.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's an issue.
If you so thirsty to where you gonna mess up our check and get us messed up out here, you done.
You can't be fumbling the
Number
bag.
3, this is Nia Long.
No.
Now maybe
let's not skip off on number 2.
Number 2 is
under no circumstances do you mess up the money. Everything else can be fixed. We can work through that.
Never.
I don't really care what the piss is going on. Under no circumstances do you mess up the money.
And he royally messed it up.
Oh my God.
No one's gonna deal with him. When it come out that when it officially come out that he was dealing with that man's wife, no other men are gonna deal with him because they're gonna see you broke major code.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're fucked. I don't even know what his next move will be. I hope he have a real good savings account. So if you're with a man who has royally screwed not only your current income but your ability to make future income, you need to leave.
He worked his whole life
For that moment, for that.
and got to the finals and was largely considered one of the best upcoming coaches.
For an ugly ass white girl.
You know, the thing that I'm wondering about though is God, I feel so what an idiot. How do you fumble that?
He
type
is
of
the
bag,
dumbest
bro?
man I have ever seen. The part that sent me was that he was dealing with multiple women at the job. Men underestimate the evil of women. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Or they think they so smart. You're not smarter than the women, so don't try. You're not smart. They are going to figure it out, and they're evil and bitches ain't shit.
Do you
I think men
that
should
guys
respect that.
are bad, dumb cheaters?
Yes,
Really?
absolutely. They're just not smart enough for you. A woman, our brain, like a man's brain is like money, food, sex. I was talking about that other day. I said a man's brain is like dirt, money, dirt, food, dirt, sex. Whereas a woman's mind is so complex, we always have 1,000 thoughts going through our mind at all times. So many men be trying to cheat and do what I know, sweetie, she 10 steps ahead of you. And we just looking at you like, look at this fool.
So when women cheat in a general sense, do you think that women cheat based off of revenge or because...
Yes, that's the number one reason women cheat, revenge.
Is because of revenge?
Almost always it's revenge.
So women are you saying that women are inherently loyal?
Yes.
Because a lot of the conversations that I'm seeing, right, because you don't listen, Anton is, if it wasn't for YouTube and all of this other type of stuff, I would be completely removed from these conversations.
Yeah.
Because that ain't just, you know what I'm saying? That's just not my life, right?
Yeah.
So when you start to think about it and you put it in perspective, right, I hear a lot of people also say that women cheat more than men.
No, that's not true.
You don't think that's true?
That's not true at all. If it was, I'll tell you. I work up close with so many women. Women do not in any way cheat more than men.
So largely they cheat based off of the circumstances that they feel like that they in and not just based off of opportunity. Because men a lot of times cheat based off of opportunity, right? They can bust a chick down, not the dudes that fall in love with these chicks, but they can bust a chick down and don't even think twice about her and don't even remember her name the minute that he had post-nut clarity, right? Whereas a lot of these, which is why I can't understand how my man's, first of all,
I think he's slow.
Because if you can have pretty much any chick that you want based off of the fact that you are that dude, right? Because he's a nice looking dude.
Yeah.
Why do you got to sleep with the chick that's in the office? That's
He's slow.
But here's another question
He's
that I
gotta be
got for
slow.
you. As a guy that works in that office, do you even have your wife working there though?
I thought about that too.
Why would
If
you
I
have
was a
your
man,
chick
my
working
woman
there?
can't have no job. If I was a man, you ain't calling no other man boss. You're not asking no other man, can you stay home today? Period. My woman, because it go down at work. Most women cheat at work because they start cheating with their work husband. My woman could not have no job. No, baby, I'm your job. Like if your woman is a nurse, God help you.
Rita, how long has it been since you had a job? 14 years? 15 years?
Rita just clutched her pearls like this. Rita was like, job? Rita just went like this.
But I'm gonna tell you, Six, like well, I guess Rita ain't worked in a long time, but I don't have those, like, I don't think from an insecure perspective, right? And how a normal guy would operate, and that, you know, I done heard of guys checking on their chick and all of this other type of stuff, want to know where she coming and going and stuff like that. I don't care.
Yeah.
I am not checking to see where she at. I don't care. Half the time she'd be like, "Hey, why you ain't ask me where I'm going?" And I'm like,
I
"Are
mean,
you
but you
going or
also
not?"
know her though. Don't use
Yeah,
Rita,
but it's
don't
guys
use Rita
that
as
get-
an example.
Guys get cheated on every single day,
Yes.
and they didn't been in relationships for an extended period of time, and the determination for whether or not that chick is gonna cheat or not is not based off of how long they've been together either.
No, it's not.
So when you take that into consideration, though, you know, I don't move insecure like that though.
But
I am
again,
very,
you can't-
very, very chill. I'm not checking for that. I'm not doing none of that. If I gotta sit here and chase you down, I got a bigger problem on my hands. I'm not doing that. That is
But that's my
it's not
point.
my
is
life, and I can't live
what
like
you're
that.
saying. I'm not rocking with that because That's just not. You don't have to deal with that. Like you have an anomaly of a wife where you know for a fact
You
that's
think
not happening.
you think it's
a
an
lot of
anomaly
men,
too?
huh?
You think that that's
What?
an anomaly of?
A lot of men.
I
A lot of men. I don't know, Anton.
I believe that. See now you.
Oh
then
God.
saying that I'm arrogant. I think it's based off of me. I mean, I give Rita her credit. She's dope and all of that,
that's a part. But how many women can be like the only man they've been with is their husband? Please don't use Rita as the example. It's just not realistic. That's not what's happening majority of the time. A lot of women have been exposed to other men, different opportunities. So,
but that's based off of the
to,
fact that I created that space to where she would.
And
never
that's what I
have
say.
to
Both
do
of
that
y'all
though, right?
get both of y'all. But I think Rita would be that way. I think just how she is. She's just not that type of person. But I'm not saying you don't play a part in it. I feel like you both play a part in it. Absolutely, it is you as well because the man sets a tone 100%.
Do you know that I get all kind of messages, DMs, emails from men, and some, like, I would say it's at least once a week, men that want me to fail when it comes to marriage, like men that
because they jealous.
That
I've
can't
seen it.
wait until
I have
fail.
seen that people feeling out about you. I've seen it myself.
That's like
That's
people be
wild
like,
to me.
yo,
They can't wait.
Watch them fail.
They
like,
cannot
watch
wait. They want Rita to leave you and take you for everything so bad.
Why?
Which is so weird.
Why? Why do they want
It's
that?
gonna show how they hating. It's gonna deep down inside what that mean is you wish you had a loyal wife that you knew was gonna ride like that, and you don't.
Why would a guy want my chick to leave me though?
Because
that's crazy.
They feel like I told you, people don't like people who got it like that. They don't like how you pop your shit. And
Rita be
they
laughing
hate
at
it.
them.
I bet she do.
Do you know what Rita said? You know what Rita's sentiment is? Because I actually brought her on a live one time, and I was like, hey, if we was to break up, what do you want? And Rita said, well, I'm straight. I don't want nothing.
Rita said that if you died, she'd be single forever.
Yeah, that's what Rita don't want nobody but
Rita,
me.
she literally does not want anyone.
I know.
When we out and about, like
But
Rita
people
eyeballs,
want me to lose when it comes to my relationship because I say stuff like, I'm never getting divorced.
That's weird. Why? How that make you mad? If that make you mad,
I laugh.
Something is wrong with you.
I do laugh at it. I think it's funny.
All you can do is laugh. Because
I think it's sad, honestly.
Because they know
first of all,
never
I don't
get
have that type. I don't have that capacity to be worried or wishing on somebody else's marriage to be a downfall.
Yeah.
Right? Like even with this whole, Udoka Nia Long situation, I don't want them to mess up and break up their family. If it's some way in which he can come back from that and never put himself in that position again, or
yeah, right.
and I'm just being real. Like in
You
a
think
best,
he can really go
in a
straight?
best case scenario, if the dude can be on top of things and not find himself in that position again, I would love for they family to stay together, and I would like for him to get married and all of that. I'm an advocate. You
think someone like him can change?
I am an advocate for marriage. Sis.
Yes. But answer my question. Do you think that someone like him can change?
Yes, 100%. You know how I know that somebody like them can change? Look at Kevin Hart. He's a different man. He's a different man now.
I almost
Kev
poked my eye out.
Look at Kevin Hart.
Still cheat.
No, he don't.
Okay.
Kevin Hart is on top of things. Kevin Hart is a stand-up guy.
Okay.
You think Kevin Hart is a cheater? I don't think Kevin Hart is a cheater. I think Kevin Hart is on the up and up. He's on top of things.
Okay.
What makes you think that Kev is a cheater?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all.
It is possible for men to have a level of success and visibility and not get caught up in no foolishness.
Yes, it is possible.
And I am living proof of it.
Yeah. It's
There is
possible.
nobody in the world that can ever say anything that Anton has ever did anything outside of his marriage. Ever.
How many
Nobody
niggas can say that?
Nobody.
But see-
and if there is, step up, say it then. Because there is
We're not gonna-
nobody
Nobody's gonna know.
that
It's not
can
gonna happen.
ever, because I know it's a fact. Nobody could ever come through
Well,
and
let me
say
ask
that,
you
though.
this. You also have a wife that puts out. What happens if someone have a wife that don't put out?
I don't care.
Okay. I love that.
That has nothing to do with
I
who
love that.
I am,
'Cause
right?
some dudes say they ain't getting none. So I'd be like, maybe.
Then
does
that's
that
something that we
justify
gonna
it?
solve for.
Okay.
I'd
love
rather
this.
put all of my energy into what I have
I love this.
instead of spending my time on something that I don't know. I'm not giving my energy to nobody like that.
Ooh, I love this.
I'm giving everything I have, and I'm only doing it once.
Ooh, yes.
That's the goal. Like, I don't have no plan B.
Yeah.
Plan B is to complete plan A.
Yeah.
I am the man that I would want my daughter to marry. And if that's the case, then I have to be, a different type of guy. And I'm going to be honest with you. My goal is to change the perspective and the narrative of how people view men in a general sense, because there are some good dudes out here and you can go about doing it the right way, and you can get rich, and you can still get everything that you want and be successful when it comes to your marriage and your household and how you take care of business.
Yes, absolutely.
And I believe that there's other guys out there like me.
Yeah.
I genuinely do.
There
And I
is.
know some. I know a lot of them.
There
As a
is.
matter of fact, all my brothers are like this.
There's men out there like that.
And so I don't know.
Those are those are the only ones I don't even see. I don't even see the other ones. Like, they should just go away. And it shouldn't. But absolutely, it is a thing.
Do you still think that there's a...
Anton, play footsie with Anton. I swear to God, if you play footsie with me one more time, I swear to God. I swear to God.
I'm about to put a camera under the
We need a foot camera.
Listen.
Y'all really gave me
was
some
really,
furry
was
green
really
socks.
She playing footsies with me. So.
No, he played footsie with me because I got on these furry green socks and he's hating on them. Rita gave me some socks look like Oscar
You said
the
you
Grouch.
was gonna steal them.
I'm not. I told her I'm not giving them back.
Do you think that there's like a decent amount of men that's out there that have that sentiment?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, it's a good amount.
I do too. I think it's a lot of good guys out there.
I think it's 50-50. I think for every bad
You
guy,
think
there's
it's
a good
equally
guy.
bad versus equally good guys
Yeah.
that's out there?
For every good guy, there's a bad guy. For every bad guy, there's a good guy. That's how it goes.
How do I'm wondering how these women out here are sorting through.
They're not. It's terrible out here.
Is it? You think so?
It's terrible out here. Like, I'm getting ready to go to India and do me an arranged marriage. I'm about to be like Indian. I can't do this. I am too. And see, this is what I was talking about earlier. I said people that have been married for a long time, it's kind of hard for y'all to give modern day dating advice because y'all have not a clue.
I got the game, Six.
No. If you're
I have
not
the
living
game,
it, no.
Six.
Trust me. 2022, things are really weird out here.
But I don't believe that people should be dating.
I agree with that. I'm not ever dating again. I'm never dating
I
again.
think that the dating starts after you get married.
After you get married.
Yeah.
But that's what on Indian Matchmaking, that's what she was saying. She was like, why do people sit and be together for 10 years? All type of bad stuff happened before, bad energy, and you're not even really locked in. She's like, you get married first, then you build the relationship.
Yep,
You
that's
find
what I
someone
believe.
where you on the same page. What's up? This is what I need. You see how I'm coming. Let's do this.
I believe
That's
that.
how it's supposed. That's the only way it works. All these love marriages don't work.
But that's how my whole family did it. That's how my brothers did it. That's how all of us did it.
I'm doing that.
We all did it the exact same way.
Holla at a real nigga.
Seriously. And
Holla at a real nigga.
I don't.
That's the only way it works. Because to me, it's like a psychological thing. You commit to me first, then I open up and I'm vulnerable to you.
Yeah.
The way we're doing it now is you're supposed to be completely vulnerable and open and give all of yourself to this person before the commitment. So now everybody is afraid. Everybody's super defensive. Everyone is traumatized. 'Cause we're doing things backwards.
Yeah, I agree.
It's no, you commit first, then we open up and be vulnerable.
I'm wondering if there's ever going to be a shift back to, that it starts to trend back up as far as more people are getting married versus there being, more divorces.
I don't think so. I think marriage is about to stop being a thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's not it.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that in the next 2 generations marriage will exist anymore. At
That's
least
sad.
not here in America it won't.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's really, really sad.
Yeah. Because again,
But most
you
men want
have,
to be married.
But do most men really want to be married? Who?
That's what they tell me.
Because from what I see is they're all talking about how marriage is so dangerous for them and how they're not getting married.
No, they're being indoctrinated by other YouTube channels and stuff
And that's
like
the
that.
problem.
That's what's really happening. I
That's
don't
the
think that the
problem.
sentiment of most, because you know what I'm hearing? What I'm hearing is a lot of guys saying that, I believed that until I ran into you, Anton. And now I got a completely different sentiment and a completely different way of thinking when it comes to looking at women in relationships.
So then why they not getting married?
A lot of them are that's rocking with me.
Okay.
Like, I know a guy that literally just got married. I got a guy that invited me to his wedding and said that he wanted me to be a part of his wedding because I was the connection between him and his wife, and I inspired them to get married and all of that. I know a lot of guys that's winning and getting married now.
I love that. Good.
But I'm only one person, or I'm the only, you know what I'm saying? I'm only one platform. A lot of these guys, Six, and this is one of the biggest problems that I have, is that they are married, but they selling this narrative and this advice, maybe because it's lucrative, maybe because that's just the audience that they bring in, that, marriage ain't it and all of this other type of stuff. But then in the background, they got a wife.
Wow.
Seriously, I know a few guys that are content
so
creators
weird.
that have wives.
And they acting single and talk about don't get married. That might be a mental illness.
Most guys won't show that they married. They won't show their wife. They won't show none of that.
You don't think it's because they want to keep their options open?
No, because being married actually gives you more options.
That's true too. Bitches love married niggas.
Seriously. Being married gives you more options.
That's
the minute that a woman finds out that you're married, it's almost like she turns into a hawk.
That's true too. They see the ring, they like, yeah.
I don't even be checking my DMs like that. If it ain't on some like business type junk or whatever, I just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even entertain it.
I don't know. I'm gonna try to find a wife for my son. I'm about to be doing in the rain. I'm about to be like, hey Leslie, how old are you again? You want a new friend? Have them be friends, grow up together. Cause I'm like, how is my son gonna choose a wife from these? Look how bad they are now. How bad is it gonna be in 10 more years? You think so?
If I was single today, I would be married in.
Anton,
if I was single today,
you do not know.
I would be married in 4 months.
Okay.
I would be married.
And you know what? You probably would.
4 months.
You probably would. I'm not gonna lie. You would. But most men know.
If I was looking to be in a relationship,
yeah,
I don't believe that I would be looking to be in a relationship, simply because I just think that I'm too busy.
Yeah, you
to
are.
entertain anything like that. So I don't see myself ever going down that path.
Yeah.
So, all right, I got one more question for you.
Okay.
Last question.
Okay.
What are you gonna do when you explode on YouTube and you really got these chicks coming for you and they don't like you? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that the majority of these chicks actually love you.
Oh, they actually want to be my
I've seen a lot of love and support.
Oh, but you gotta love
for
someone to hate them.
But what are you gonna do? What are your plans once you become a megastar?
I love how you say once I do. Like, you know what's gonna happen.
I do know what's gonna happen.
You make me feel like I want to believe in myself.
I believe that you are going to be you are going to be much bigger than I ever could.
You think so?
I know
me?
so. Yes.
You think so?
I know so.
You saying that is freaking me out because I
know
think it's true.
I think that you are going to be incredible. Your problem is that.
Tell me. Oh my God. I can't believe you're saying
your problem, Six, is that you don't embrace it as much as you should.
A lot of people tell me that.
You don't. I think if you just went 100% in, you would absolutely explode.
You think so?
I know so. Because you got everything. You got every single attribute, every single quality. You know how to communicate effectively. You know how to deal with trolls, and you know how to deal with these hoes. You got the look. You got every single thing, every single attribute. You have it. The only thing that you need is to go hard for somebody to push you.
I think that's a part of the problem. And when we talk about marriage, I think that's going to be what make me take off. I think when I get married and I have that masculine balance in my life, I think that's when I'm going to take off. Yep. I think right now it's really hard for me to be consistent with content the way I want.
Yep.
Because I'm still like managing my own life, paying my bills, like taking care of a kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's so hard for me to be consistent. And I think that's what I'm missing is the balance. I think if I did have that masculine balance in my life, I think I would. I think I will when that happens. But you saying that you have no idea. Like I'm about to fall off this chair right now.
I'm telling you, I told Rita, I was like, she got it. Like she has it. She has everything.
Wow.
But
that made me want to like turn up.
I might have to push you.
Like maybe you need to be like,
I might have to push
bitch,
you.
where's your video today?
See, I'm very,
In
very,
capital
I'm
letters.
very, very careful about picking and choosing my spots because, you know, I got to take into consideration what other people's lives are like and stuff like that. But it's almost like, man, I wish I could take her because you have things that I will never have. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what I have is just based purely off of my drive, my determination, my work ethic, my business acumen, and things like that, right? So I have a lot of intangibles that allow for me to be able to, you know, utilize the other things. But you have all of it. Like you have
Wow.
every single thing that you need in order to get there.
Wow.
You just got to be pushed.
Wow.
But we'll get there.
I am over here.
Conversations off
reevaluating.
camera.
I'm over here like,
Conversations off camera.
oh man, Anton, you just fucked me up with that one.
But don't worry, I'm gonna make sure you get there.
Wow. I literally like that one little thing. I'm over here. I'm really like, oh shit.
See, I'm gonna tell y'all, 6, she'll hear this from me, and then it'll mean a whole lot to her when probably a bunch of y'all already probably told her that she's supposed to go
No.
hard.
The only other person that has pushed me in this game is Randy Booker.
Really?
I love Randy Booker.
Yeah.
RB has been, he hate when I call him my friend. He hates it.
Why? Why does he hate
He
that?
think it's lame for a woman to call him a friend. He was like, don't say that. But I know.
Why? I
I'm
consider
raised
you a
him-
friend.
Yeah. Like, for some reason, he don't like it. I don't know. But shout out to RB because even when I had first started YouTube, you have no idea how much shit he put me onto. Like, I'm talking about, he would see me do something, he'll hit me up like, "Six, you need to do this and that." And he the only other person that like hands on would be like, "No, girl, like he the reason why I'm even where I am now." You know? So between you and him, I'm like, nah, and he be telling me that. But
I'll give you the game and it's gonna inspire you. Watch.
and you know, it's consistency with me.
I know.
I'm so, again, I talk about how women are naturally chaotic. I'm chaotic AF. One day I'm painting, then I'm like reorganizing my
That's
closet.
all right. I'm gonna do your schedule for you.
I'll wake up and think I'm gonna do content, and then
we
my
about to get
kid,
6 on all the way.
my kid calls me like, "Mom, I threw up at school," and I'm like, "Fuck! I was about to record. I gotta stop." Like I am torn. Then I have my girls.
Yeah.
Then I have almost 700 girls I personally mentor, and they're all calling me like, "I escaped. Call me."
Yep.
And I'm like trying to tend to them. I'm losing my shit. And then I also like to have a good time. So then I also have times where I'm like, I should be working, but I'm gonna go on vacation or go out to eat.
Nah, we about to get you.
And that's where I think that's where we need the masculine balance, where I think I do need a man to be like, girl,
I'm about to push you.
I think I need that because
to push
I
you.
honestly have no excuse.
You don't. You have no excuse. You got every single thing that you need.
I gotta do better. You know what else? Let me tell you this. I think I'm not used to. I think a part of me is like scared of like being super successful.
Why are you? See, now listen. Think about this, y'all. We come in full circle. The same conversations that we were having earlier in this this stream about her being shy and all of this in her childhood. Now it's coming back full circle. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm gonna have an honest, transparent moment, and I feel like, first of all, I think that my life has been such a struggle. Like the concept of being like, because right now I'm doing pretty good,
Yeah.
but I'm still one bad decision away from being on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing pretty good, but if I could
not
do,
being in my circle, you know.
well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I could do one dumb thing and this could all go to shit. So I'm not there, but I think my whole life has been a struggle. Like the idea of not having anything to struggle or worry about, I don't know if I could handle that. Like I've always had struggle and worry. So I think that's one part of it. And I think the second part of it is, if me right now as an average earning working American, that I have hoes that just hate me so bad, a part of me is like, fuck, what if I'm super rich and successful? No one's going to like me. They are going to hate me. They're going to look at me and be like,
But
ugh.
see, that's the thing. It seems that way. It's just the loudest people in the room is just a small minority of people.
Yeah.
But people love you, and people got a lot of love for you.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get you out of this duress mindset of thinking and even contemplating and having a conversation about being one step away and all of that. We don't move like that. We move based off of the opportunities and what's ahead of us. We don't look backwards. We don't look to the side. We don't do none of that. And so you'll get there. I got you.
Yeah, but I'm glad you calling me out on this. I'm glad.
And you know the funny part is as soon as I hit 6 up and I'm like, hey, you coming to Detroit? She like, bet, when? And I'm like, you coming to Detroit? We gonna have some fun. We gonna shoot some content.
Anything you tell me to do, I'm gonna do it.
I know
Anti could call me and be like, 6, go on your roof, jump up and down, pat your head, rub your belly, and I would be like, okay, I don't know why I'm supposed to be doing this, but I know if he's telling me to do it, it's for a reason.
Because I got your best interest at heart.
Yeah. It was like, it would matter what weird thing. If you like 6, get dressed and put on a purple shirt and green pants.
But you know what? I tell guys that all the time. I say, yo, when you really, really, because I think that women are smart. Mm-hmm. Women know when a dude is trying to fuck them. Women know when a dude is genuinely there for them and so on and so forth. And so the thing that I tell guys all the time is, why would you limit a woman to her pussy when she has so many skills and intangibles and assets and ways in which she can go about conquering the world? I mean, think about it. If you look at a chessboard, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board, right? They are the ones that can go out and do all of the things. And so when a woman knows that you have her best interest at heart, like, she will rock with you. She will follow you. She will go down that path. But all you got to do is give her something to believe in. You know what I'm saying? And show her something and she'll rock with you. So
that's what we're talking about. Where I said women, how we're chaotic and we depend on the masculine to come on and give us a direction for all this energy. You have mastered that.
I try.
You don't meet women with our same energy. This is where a lot of men go wrong.
I don't run into bad women.
You don't have whole problems.
No, I don't. Right.
And it's because you are very good at directing our energy. You know how to give us something to do. And then you so sick with it. Not only will you get a woman something to do, you'll give her something to do that's going to benefit you and serve your purpose. You don't just give her busy work.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything you give, I see you. Everything you get the women around you do is going to either benefit you, them, or both of them. You have
But
mastered
women
that.
want to
do
things, yeah.
We want that with all the men in our life, not only romantic. I want that with my dad.
Yep.
I want that with my son.
Yep.
That's what we want from men, period.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you have
But you also
have
the right mindset and attitude that's going to allow for you to be, man, I see so much greatness for you, 6. It's so amazing.
And you know, I feel it, and it scares me.
No, it shouldn't scare you.
Do you know I cried?
It's going to excite you.
I cried the whole morning of my 33rd birthday.
Why?
Because I had a vision of this vision. It was like a dream vision that morning. I woke up, and it was this vision of complete alignment. And I heard this voice in me that's like, this year, everything you wanted to happen is going to happen.
It is.
And I freaked out. I was like, wait. And it was so loud. And it was on my 33rd. And 3-3, that's your alignment year. On my 33rd birthday, a voice came to me and was like, it's happening.
Yeah.
And I cried. I literally was boohoo cried. I was like, I'm not ready. I don't know what to do. How am I going to do this? But that's why I think it's interesting us having this conversation now, because I'm like, have you been like hearing my dreams? Because I literally,
well, I already know
2 weeks ago.
I already know that you are supposed to have the best, right? And so even when, stuff is being taken care of behind the scenes and stuff, it's like, yo, does she got the right hotel? Does she got the right flight? You know what I'm saying? Is it ideal? Is it all of that? And it's like, I treat people how they should expect to be treated. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, I told Rita, it's funny. I said, Rita, I'm a ruiner.
Did you see the stuff I was texting Rita?
No, I didn't see nothing that you was texting. I told Rita, I said, I'm a ruiner. I'm a ruiner.
It's not today's price. Let me say that. Yesterday's price is not today's price. First of all, let me tell you what was very satisfying. You
can't tell them everything, see?
But I just want to say I was so satisfied when I got on the plane, okay? And I saw all these old white men with their liver spots and wrinkles. And I got my
She was
black
telling
ass.
us this in the car. That joke was hilarious.
I got my black ass on that plane, and they looked up at me like, oh, I know she's headed to the back. Because, boy, when I buy my own flight, I'm in seat 64F. Boy,
You can't do that
When I
anymore.
buy my flight, boy, I'm in coach. You
Oh,
hear
my
me?
Jesus.
I'm in the back of the plane like Rosa Parks when I booked the flight. Baby, I'm on Frontier, JetBlue, Southwest, my best friend. So here I'm on Delta, honey. I'm bougie in Delta. Okay.
Oh, my
I get on the
Jesus.
plane and they look at me like, oh, they just know I'm going to my normal 64C seat.
Your normal 64.
And when that white man was reading his magazine, and I said, "Excuse me, I think that's my seat," and he looked up like, and I was like, "Out of my way."
He might have been checking you out though. You never know.
But then after I sat down, then I saw him like this, and I said, "Oh, you trying to give me a security check?"
Yeah.
He tried to give me direct deposit.
Yep, that's
So I
right.
was like, "This how." So lady came, the flight attendant came. She said, "Ma'am, what would you like to drink?" And it wasn't the
Yeah.
cart of the peasants with like water and all
Yeah, they
that.
got to give you the wine and
The
stuff.
wine.
Yeah.
I was on the plane like this. This was me on the plane.
Nuts. Y'all are nuts. Oh my God.
And I was saying the what's the lady called? The flight attendant.
Yeah.
Please fetch me a snack.
They I'm gonna put you up on game.
I'm
after
bougie
we get
now.
off.
You definitely did ruin me.
I told Rita I said I was gonna ruin you.
Now I'm like,
on purpose. I was gonna ruin you on purpose.
Coach. Me, seat 64F. Now I'm like, Coach. Ugh.
Well, listen, this is not the last time that Six and I is going to be doing content in person. The next time that I bring you here, I'm gonna show you the content. It's gonna be done, the content creation space. So
In June.
no,
I'm not coming here in the winter.
no,
I'm a Florida girl.
but no, we're not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna be doing it. I'm a Miami guy in the winter too,
Yeah.
but I do fly back for my games. But outside
meet,
of that,
let's meet in Miami.
yeah, we could do that.
I'm not coming to Detroit in the wintertime. I'll die.
What are your final thoughts? Give the people your final thoughts, Six.
Final thoughts is, Anton, this channel is dope. The content is dope. Final thoughts is, these bitches ain't shit. Final thoughts is, Ime has officially, I think
Yeah,
we
that's
have
true.
decided that he is the stupidest, dumbest man
Yeah.
to ever walk the planet.
I don't understand it.
And
I am confused.
he, like, you know how Charlemagne be doing donkey today?
Yeah.
He donkey of lifetime. He's donkey of the
I don't
lifetime.
know how you throw away that amount of money over no chicks.
Did you see the girl though? Did you see the woman?
I'm afraid to even look at her.
You have to look at her. Ugly ass white girl. You have Nia Long.
She got to be doing something crazy
She need to
behind
call.
the
I'm finna
scenes.
find that bitch and tell her to call me. Call me, because whatever you did, honey, I want to know. And whatever you did, baby, teach me. Ugly ass white. You had Nia Long at home and you ruined your job, Nia Long, for an ugly white girl.
That's true. That is
That
very
looked like
true.
Squidward. Wow.
Really?
She looked like Squidward.
All right, I got to find out what this chick looks
And
like.
then I want you to watch the press conference because Buddy was finna cry in the press conference. What his name is? Brad. Her husband's name is Brad Lynch or something like that. Buddy was literally like, lip was quivering in the press conference. And everybody's asking all these questions. And he's like, you just want to feel
He shouldn't
bad.
even have showed up to the
Oh, what I
That's
said.
a
I said,
bad
I'm not
idea.
finna sit here and do no press conference about fucking my wife. Like,
That's a
I'm
bad
not doing
idea.
that. He sat there and did the press conference when the whole time the woman we talking about is your wife. But then they said that the wife is not fired,
No, they're not going to fire her.
which is crazy. She
I don't
would be
know.
so
What's-
fired.
But if she was my wife, she wouldn't even be working there in the first place.
Period. Let's start there.
Not even
I would
be
never
working
let
there in
my
the
wife.
first place.
Never. Nope. It's just not even not trusting her. It's just unnecessary.
I agree.
It's unnecessary. Like, I wouldn't want my man working in like a woman's hair salon. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
You're pretty much just asking for an issue.
Nope. She
Yeah.
wouldn't be working there.
No.
Well, listen, we love Six, and I am bringing her back, and I'm bringing her back in Miami, and we're going to have a ball.
We going
What do you?
Miami.
Well, we'll talk about that off camera. We love
Okay.
y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.